mystery detector. Welcome into stream. Welcome in. And we're Eris's fans, not the goddess of chaos, but the orderly, lawful, good Eldritch princess that doesn't have us trapped in the elevator against the room. Exactly. I'm glad you agree, Frost. Smile. And logically, I am merely a princess. That's all the power I need. That said, though, you all seem to be a little bit preoccupied, I'd say, possibly. And, you know, it's not a thing of my doing, but you seem to be in this sort of business building. And you're going to a meeting, but you can't go to this meeting because all the elevators aren't, well, maybe they're not working, maybe they're just full and the button's not pressing down to your level, so you just have to wait for a little bit. And there's no stairs that you can go up to. There's no windows, there's no doors. Really, all there is just you and the elevators. You don't even have any equipment you can use, no tools to mine out. You really are just kind of, you're not stuck. You're just here temporarily, really. When you think about it, it's not a bad thing. It's just an inconvenience. And, you know, since you have, since you're in here, and since I'm in here, well, you can't see me, can you? So let me make myself was visible. There we are. Why don't I just hold on? There we are. oh, hold on! I'm undressed. Hold on, I'll be right back. Never mind. You saw nothing. We're button. Hold on. Business. And hi, Ami. Welcome in. And hi to you as well, Agape. So, where were we? Yes, indeed. Right. You're in here, I'm in here. And since you have nowhere to go, I might as well use this moment of opportunity to explain a current thing I've been working on, a thing that'll hit the market soon. All hip and cool. Casual or business feels like tisk. A violation. And that special project I've been working on is none other than, bam, Necrotype Cafe, a rhythm typing cafe game. And the idea behind this section is this time where we both come together in this room where we both can't escape is that I spend at least 45 seconds to a minute attempting to pitch the game to you, hence the elevator pitch. Wink, nudge. And triple elevator pitch. There are multiple elevators, but luckily for you only need one. The idea behind this is that it gets people who haven't been here before up to date on what the game's supposed to be about. Maybe you haven't been here in a second, so it gets you up to date on what happened recently, and it also gives me a chance to get better at explaining my game, too. And as few words, as little time as possible. So that's the hope, as everyone gets up to date. Disabled all three, just to be sure. I have done nothing of the sorts. I have no idea what you're talking about. Once that timer up there reaches 45 seconds, we'll begin. And let me just double check. I was a little bit worried. Oh, don't worry, Mystery Detector. I always come back. How good was that? Oh boy. All right. Welcome to Necrotype Cafe, a rhythm typing cafe game where you play as Necromancer Gabriella, who's sent by her necromancy family to this prestigious wizard academy college. And the idea is that she doesn't want to become a necromancer, no. She wants to become a baker, a chef. So to prove that she can do this, she opens up a little cafe in a small part of the school, a hidden place. And the idea is that you serve your fellow wizard customers with fellow wizard students. So cafe game, check. Where does the rhythm typing come into play? I'm glad you asked. The rhythm typing comes into play in the sense of, in order to create these foods and dishes to serve to your fellow customers, what you have to do is you have to summon the food via spellcasting. And spellcasting happens by typing to the beat. Spellcasting in this game is done by poetry. So you have to type out a poem to the beat and you serve customers. And the hope is that by the end of the game, you'll have a lot of potions, or not potions too, but lots of spells, lots of potions unlocked. And you know what? Better than the last. I think almost getting there. I think last time I gave it 7 out of 10. I think this one's an 8.5, maybe if we're being generous. And hi, Mr. Dream Studios. Welcome into Dream. Rest a tad and fell behind our script. Yeah, my mouth just started not mouthing correctly. A nice tempo, great charisma, good time management, 9 out of 10. Well, thank you. I'm sure you all are all heavily convinced. Yes. And for some reason, if you are not convinced, why don't I go ahead and show you the current prototype of the game? Surely, you know, a bit of a sample will get you interested. So what we'll do, reduce points for wardrobe malfunction. Hold on, this was before the timer started, so it doesn't count. What I'll do is I can click on, let's see, let me get off my business attire. No more is it needed. Let me get my business and programming associate here, Bobby, as you know, he's here for moral support. That's all, well, that's all he needs to be. Let me swap over to here. And from there, what I'll do is I'll do exclamation. I should be able to do Necrotype. There you go. That should link you to the game page. And with all that said and done, the hope is that, well, I've been working on this game for a year now, just about a year, and it's the second game I've ever made, so it's not supposed to be big. The hope was to make a small game, condensed enough that I'd be able to complete it. However, this game was beyond my skill level, so we're a little bit behind in terms of what I wanted to happen. For example, I wanted this game to be done in about 4-ish months. Since it's been over a year, I've had to tone back my my aspirations, which is a-okay. The hope of making this game is that we get a chance to see the whole development of what goes into game development. So once this game is completed with the prototype, once we're done with the demo, I want to learn how to put it on Steam, things of that nature. So really all this is a learning exercise. And can you hear the game? You should be able to. And hi, Bobby, I missed you. He was in and out for a little bit. Let me make sure it's better than average, but surely with no bias on my part. Mayhaps I've been sold. Mayhaps just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. I don't blame you one bit. Let's see here. I always come back. And what's behind the corner of the left? Could you elaborate a little bit on what you mean, check? And let's see. Good, lovely. Roby Capabot. He's been upgraded with power. And he's here for mind games, even though he might be lacking one. He just pushes the button. All right, with that said, and guys, don't look at any green squares or pink squares next to our names. We are not biased. Exactly, I haven't paid you off in the slightest. Let's see here. If I go ahead and do that guy, I hide this guy, show this guy, it should be able to bring in our obsidian view. Hold your horses here. Lovely. And wait, we're getting paid in kindness and generosity and thankfulness. That is a term of currency, technically. And thumbs up through money. Well, currency can be whatever you imagine it to be. Let's see here. Let me enable that guy there. The music should now be audible if I do that. I'm curious, is the audio? The audio is captured, so you should be able to hear the music. Good to go. And the man on itch has hearts in its skulls while inside the game. The thing is, and glasses toggled, no more big brain. All right, okay. Let's see, clock. All right, 10 minutes now on the clock. No more glasses for 10 minutes. There you go. There you are. Thank you for the redeem. The reason behind that, Mr. Retector, is that was an old version of the game. The idea was that, my game initially worked off of a metronome that would play constantly. So it was a global metronome, and every time this metronome ticked, things would happen in the game. But since I took the metronome idea out of the game, things no longer update on the metronome. But when it was in the game, every time the metronome ticked, the eyes would appear in the skull. So they're there, they're just not there. But I do want to add them back at some point. But that's why the hearts were there for a second, but now they're not. They'll get re-added though, don't you worry. With all that said, let's see if the game will work. Let's see how well it goes. So if I click on start, we should get into calibration. So let's see. Space. All right, results. Now, one thing we have noted is that, and I don't know if I can find it, or I don't know if I have the notes on hand for me. And oh no, I do not. I don't have the paper on me. That's okay. Let me log it then. I should be able to. If we just go here and here, I'll just do, what's this here? Nope, to do? Yup, okay. So there's currently a bug, and actually, you know what? I'm pressing too many buttons. There's currently a bug going on, and let me see if I just add a new note. We'll put it here for now. But there's a bug going on currently where if you do certain calibrations, result in the game not working. So I'll just put on here, let's see, 0.104, I believe. Let's see if this works. Sometimes the number's too short, it's too long. I have it written down somewhere, but this is where digital notes come into play. And they're there, but just not there. How did that sentence make sense beyond me? You know, English for you. English is a little lovely. And do you have a surefire way to replicate that book? I do indeed, yes. The issue at the moment is that, and if you can remind me in a second after we go through the game, I'll see if I can explain the bug. I'm just not sure how to fix the bug, but I know why it happens and what's the reason for it. And hi, is it XIE? Welcome into stream. I can certainly try again, but welcome back. And so, what now is the best Sprite software for editing? Ah, I forgot! Oh boy, okay, you know what? I will also add that on there, and we fix those today. Oh yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see, let's go. Best Sprite, SPRITE, software for editing, EDITING. All right, there we go. I have it saved on here. I'll take a look at it after stream. Yeah, I I certainly forgot. All right, so tutorial here. Let's see if the bug happens. And technically, at no point is there a best software. It has to do with your platform is and what your goal is and how much your process is intended to. Yep. When I hear the word best, I think of opinion. So in my opinion, what do I think is the best editing software? I'll have to look into it. That's a good question. So let's see. If I move around with our arrow keys, a customer is spawned. So let's go ahead, have the customer sit down. They'll find a nice cozy seat to think to themselves, yeah, this is where I want to be. Once they read their book, they'll wave their little hand to signal that they have a order ready. So go ahead, click on that guy. And now if you hold in space, we have our recipe book. So in our recipe book, you can see there's a few things going on. We have a bit of a timer here. We've got colors and symbols. And the idea is that in this game, each wizard is represented by a flavor. And throughout the game, new wizards will come to your game, which will add new flavors into your profile. And so you have to combine different flavors to get different foods and different combinations. So there's a lot of unlocking a lot of flavor text and ideas. And what kind of editing are we talking about? Sprite, video editing? I'm thinking it's pixel art is the software that they're talking about. So what we can do is follow this little skull guy into the kitchen area here. And if we stand behind the desk, we have our next objective, which is to create the food. And you can see here, it is a sweet bitter cake. So we have to combine two different flavors. And an example here, you can see I have a Necromancer, she's purple, which represents bitter. But as you go on in the game, you'll unlock different wizards. So for example, we have a Pyromancer that'll get added to the game, and the Pyromancer will have the spicy flavor, things of that nature. And hello, hi, Banan, Gully G sound. welcome in. Okay, so we eat wizards for their flavor? No, flavors is just attuned to different wizards. That's the thing here, no cannibalism happening. And if it helps, like the tech stack of A-Sprite, ooh, and Pixel Composer. Yeah, I do want to learn Pixel Composer. And I mean, objectively best. Even if every software does the same thing, some might lack minor features. Ooh, that's specific. Yeah, that would take some thinking. So what we can do is if we go to our bookshelf here, you can see two different flavors. So we can go ahead and grab a sweet flavor here, and we can also grab a bitter flavor. Now we need to figure out the product, what we're creating with these flavors. So if we go to this bookshelf over here, we have cake. So if we place the cake down and we hold down Q, it'll bring us into the rhythm typing portion of the game. So let's see here. The idea is that once the letters reach this white circle, we have to press them down. And this bar here stands for how well our progress is doing. Once this fills up, the spell is over. And this guy here stands for how fast we are to failing. If this guy fills up, the game's over. So you don't want this guy to fill up, you want this guy to fill up, you want to press the buttons when they enter here. Alright, are you ready to see if we do encounter the bug? I wrote down the number somewhere, but sticky notes, physical notes, I'm realizing I lose very often. So lesson learned. Alright, let's give it a go then. Let's see. BEWARE space THE space JABBER OCK comma space MY space SO and space THE space JAW S space T HAT space BIT and E comma space THE space C LAWS. There we are. We got an okay 75% accuracy. I'll take it. That's it in a nutshell. And hi, Threedus boy. Welcome back into stream. Welcome in. And hello, every nan. Welcome in. And objectively, it gets hard to judge since it's just about which features are available, how much clicks to those features, unless you compare specific workflows. And by the way, the topic is coding. Yes, that is right. It should be, because we're doing game development today. So we're doing some coding, some programming. Indeedy. Yep, it is correct. So let me click on here. And we just passed the elevator by 3 minutes or so ago. Yep, the elevator came and went. As it's not meant to be, it's just an inconvenience. And imagine being bad at your own game. Well, the thing is, and I don't know if I can show you, but give me 1 second, we can talk about it. Let me go ahead and grab this cake here, and let's go ahead and serve it to the customer. So, let's go over here, have the customer eat their food, think about it, and once they're done eating, they'll wipe their mouth, we can go ahead and take their payment, and the customer will leave. And that is the game in a nutshell. So the idea of customers coming in, you do a spell crafting, serve customer, leave. That's the game loop. And game dev does not equal game nerd. And I have a question off topic. Depends on how off topic it is. Let's see, main menu here. All right, that's the game in a nutshell. And what we've been working on is, if you saw, there was a, there was a point for how many ghosts were served. And the idea is that recently, Ghosts used to be in the game. Ghosts were seen as an inconvenience in the game. What's the word I'm looking for? Not an enemy. They're just in the game, and you have to, like with customers, serve them. And so I'll not ask, you got it. Yeah. If you can save it for when we do the ad break, I can try to answer. And I'll wait to call the next one. Summoning them down, like, with powers. Let's see here. No one can control the elevators, I tell you. Okay, so next up, what did I want to say? I wanted to say, aside from the bug, we've been working on ghosts. Ghosts work a little bit differently than customers. Let me bring you into, let's see here, our programming screen. And hi, Mnemonic. Welcome into stream. Hello, welcome in. And we've been working on the ghosts, and ghosts have a few different features that they're able to do. And actually, let me bring you into this one. This might be easier to start off with. Let me drag you up to, let's see, calibration. Where are our ghost notes? Ghost, lovely, found them. All right, these are things the ghost will be able to do. We were working on mechanics for the ghost. Mechanics we surely wanted in the game. Mechanics that might make it fun. That's what we've been doing. We've been going down the list. So ghosts have the ability to wander on, follow the player, and you have to serve the ghost dishes in order for them to be banished and leave. But the ghost can get a specific ingredient, just like how with different wizards are associated with different flavors, ghosts are associated with the flavor of memory. And if you don't banish ghosts, then they cause a little bit of havoc in the cafe until you do banish them. And our main character, our Necromancer Gabby, is afraid of ghosts. The idea is that ghosts are supposed to be an obstacle in the game. And currently, we have, at the moment, the memory dish created. We also have the ability for the ghost to wander around, I believe. So where did we leave off? Let's see. We have the ghost animation. I think that's what it was. We were messing around with the animation. So let me go ahead and bring you into our program here. I'll show you a little bit of what the ghosts are currently, and then I'll talk about something else I think I do want to bring attention to. So let's go into here, go into, oh, where's Godot? Godot! And by the way, notice as you change the static thing is in front of you. Could you elaborate a little bit on what you mean? Oh, what language? Oh, do you mean programming language? Are the elevators even there? Or just the doors? There's no doors in there, elevators are there, but you know what? I believe if you were to open up the elevators, there would be an elevator in there. I'm just not going to look and I'm not going to test it. Let's go ahead and click play on here. If you mean the programming language, then I'm using GDScript. The static thing, I don't, oh, do you mean this guy right here? This little guy right here? That's Bobby. He's the collaborator in all of this. Nope, timer is up for 10 minutes, so let me go ahead and toggle that back on. There we are, classes again. And will banishing the ghost be running around with vacuum cleaners? No, instead, banishing the ghost requires you to serve them specific foods. If I click on you here, you should be able to do that there. Lovely. Okay, and can you hear the music? That's the next question. We have that there. You should be able to hear it now. We all love Bobby, this household, and Bobby loves us. Bobby is this little guy here. You could consider him an assistant. Alrighty, so here in the game we are. Hold on, let me just make sure we don't have that guy going so it's not all boxes. And is the music good? I think the audio is good. I think we're good. Alright, levels, you hear. Alright, so here in the game we are in the testing game. And I can spawn in a ghost. This little guy here. So these ghosts will wander around the cafe until you serve them a dish. And the idea is that ghosts have a radius, and if a customer is in their radius, in their range, then the ghost will affect the customers in different ways. Right now, we have a sort of fear system going on. So if a ghost is next to a customer, then the customer will be a little bit more impatient with their order being served. Things like that. And I think Bobby dreams of world domination. You can see it in his eyes. Bobby here is a pacifist. He's peaceful. I get it, you, but I prefer having the best right from the start. I see. And thank you for the follow. Is it Rogue Poop? Maybe. I can try again, certainly. But thank you for the follow. And welcome into stream. Welcome in. So the ghost can wander around. And if I go ahead and do move ghost, you can see this ghost guy here is gonna wander around. Right now, or actually, is the animation working? I thought it was broken. Okay, it's a little broken. It's a little broken. He should now go back to idle. So that's what we'll be working on. And thank you for the follow. Is it Wurex, possibly? Thank you. Welcome in. And I can certainly try your name again if I got it wrong. But welcome in. So the ghosts wander around like this. You can see them. The animation is a little bit broken, so that's what we'll be spending some time doing today, figuring out animation trees. I think that'll be up for doing it. But in order to banish a ghost, what you have to do is you have to summon a specific food. So we go over here, you should be able to see. We have another thing, memory. That's the flavor I was talking about. And if we combine that dish with, or that flavor with our dish, so if we make memory added on here, we'll get a sweet bitter memory. I think it's going to be bitter memory. I mean, that kind of looks correct. And hold on, you don't dream anymore. He's planning. Oh Oh no, that's even worse. And unfair here, you're using the most popular one. Yeah, that does make sense. If I click finalize here, once the spell casting is over, we get the cake, and just like with the customers, we serve it. And hi, Rudy. Welcome into the stream. Welcome in. Ghost gets served, ghost gets banished. That's how the ghost works in the game. And currently, at the moment, the ghost animations aren't working. So we're gonna see if we can program them to function the way we want them to. Because when they are in this position, they should be idle. When they stop moving, and currently, they move the way they should. So they go from idle to wandering. But when they reach their position, so once they get here, they should go back to idle. But you'll see, they stay with wandering. So that's what we'll be doing today. And apologies if my response is a bit nitpicky. It's unfortunate results trying to match the question. And how's the game going? I'm not up to date with the progress. The game is slowly going. If you were here last time, you probably haven't missed much since I've had to stop the game for a little bit since I got sick for a bit. And hi, Pigeon Gaming. Welcome in stream as well. Welcome in. All right, with all of that said, one thing I wanted to note, and one thing I wanted to draw attention to, as I will go and end this guy here. I'll go ahead and play this music here, so you should be able to hear it. Let's see. Lovely. Yes, one thing I wanted to draw attention to is the importance of bug fixing and also game testing. Because you can make a game, but if you don't test the game during the creation process, if you don't have other people test it, then the game probably won't come out well. So anytime someone can get the ability to play your game, it's really important to take that feedback. The hope is that you make a fun game that's also not frustrating. But if it's a game like a hard game, like Getting Over It, where the point is to be frustrating, it has to be fair. So you want a fair game. I think that's a little bit better to say. Yeah, a fun and fair game. And I can't wait to see Necromancer with all assets finished. I'm so excited for it. We've got to get there very soon, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, eventually, yeah. So what I will say is, recently, someone rated us the other day, and it was Sleepy Panda. The name has been changed to EP, but I did want to shout them out as, if I scroll down here, and do this here, and if I go ahead and do /shout out, like that, and then do the name, I think that'll work. Did that work? Lovely. Yes, indeedy. They ended up playing my game yesterday. I was asleep when it happened, but if you'd like to see the reaction to playing the game, you can check out this specific one here. They played at the very start of the stream, and I wanted to take attention to it just because it shows how, as a developer, when you're making your game, you know what's going to happen. You expect things to happen. But when someone who's never played your game before interacts with your game, it gives you a new insight into how the game will go. And in this example, when Sleepy Panda played the game, they had a hard time figuring out the controls, figuring out the instructions, the tutorials, the font. So that's things I can note in the future to touch on in the sense of, all right, the font's still confusing, the tutorial's still confusing. I think that's important to take into factor, as the best type of data is one you get right on the field, once you can get into. So if you'd like to watch their playing that, you can. It's at the very beginning of that. Okay, with all that said and done, I believe we're good to go. And thank you, I'm going to try out Aseprite. Yes. If I had to recommend one pixel art program to date, Aseprite's gotta be the one. The Aseprite, and I also think Pixel Composer. I haven't tried Pixel Composer much, but from what I've seen it capable of doing, if you can master, or if you know something like After Effects for Adobe, you'll probably like Pixel Composer. That's a really good program, Pixel Composer. It's just, I don't know anything about composing and nodes, so it's a little tricky, but it's something I would like to invest my time in learning how to do. Alrighty then, with all of that said and good to go, let's move on to the ghost. So the current issue at the moment is that the ghosts aren't updating their state. Right now, when they move from one point to another, so let me bring you into concepts here, and let me bring you into this guy here. Yep, so Ghost Wander. We don't even have follow player done yet. So what we're working on doing is, if I can find my little guy here. Yes, indeed. All right. So when the ghost wanders around the cafe, this little guy here, he has different positions he can go to, different targets he can sit at. So let's see here. We'll do this. So the ghost can move to this spot, it can move to this spot, or it can move to this spot in the cafe. And I'll grab this guy here. And in order to move, he has to change his state. So when he's on a spot, when he's just sitting here hovering, he's in idle. When the ghost is positioned to move, it switches to wandering. And then once it sits on the spot, it should go back to idle. So idle, wandering, idle, so on and so forth. That's the expected reaction. But if we take a look again at our Godot here, that's not what's happening. That is not what is currently happening. That's not what's occurring. That's a little bit better. And if I go ahead and enable that thing I had on earlier, you should be able to see the current issue we're having. And that's what we'll try to figure out. So I'll go ahead and mute the game since no longer need the audio. We'll go ahead and enable Godot here, Godot here, Godot here. Lovely, lovely. So if I go to here, levels, you can see the ghost spots, the spots they can go to are here. They can also go to, let's see, here, and they can also go to here. These are the 3 positions. So if we go ahead and spawn a ghost in, like so, you'll see the ghost will take one of those positions, and the position will go green to show that this ghost is in this position. But if we go ahead and move said ghost, it'll go to another spot. Or, hold on, did I do that wrong? Nope, I didn't press enter. Let's see here. Move ghost. Let me remove you. Move ghost. Move you. There we are. Then they're going to go to this one since it's selected. You can see they're wandering. And when they touch that dot, it should say idle, but it doesn't. That's where we're currently having the issue at. So there's an issue of the ghost can't go into the space. Can the ghost not go to that certain position? Why is it the case that when the ghost touches it, it's this sort of imaginary barrier? But when you spawn in a ghost, so if I spawn in this guy here, the ghost has no problem sitting directly in the spot. So yeah, this ghost up here should look like this ghost down here, idle and in the center of the dot. So that's where we're going to try to figure out why it's not doing the thing it should be doing. That is today's hope. And if we can figure that out, then we'll also work on having the ghost follow the player around the cafe. That should be a lot of fun. So let me get some water and then we'll get into things. Should we be scared by that? Could you elaborate a little bit on when you meet Chuck? Scared by the ghost moving around? Scared by the ghost not working? Or what exactly is the fear we should be feeling? So let's see here. The ghost, I'm going to guess, since it's in the wandering state, it doesn't count it as being inside. And hi, Kiri, welcome into stream. Wowie, wow, my favorite streamer, Eris. Well, thank you, and welcome in. And hi as well, subject, welcome into you as well. And good evening, everyone. What did I miss? Not much. The issue we're having at the moment, well, we're about to get into some programming and some, what would you call it? Some AI, some AI, what is it? Word am I looking for? Interaction? Behavior, AI behavior. I'm asking how bad is the issue? I don't know quite yet. To summarize it in just a simple sentence subject, the ghost should look like this, the ghost should not look like this. For some reason, the ghost's behavior isn't working the way we want it to. And what is your favorite study subject? Math and science. Math and science is my favorite. My least favorite have to be history and English, if I had to, because history and English both have things to do with remembering names sometimes, and I like facts. I like when things are certain and strict, hence why I like programming, because there's a lot of math involved, and if something's not working, it's most likely because you're the problem. It only works as much as you allow it to work. That's what I like about programming. So, with all of that said, let's see if we can figure it out. What we have going on is this little ghost guy here. When the ghost is spawned, it starts off with the idle state, and when the ghost is asked to move, it turns to the move state. And once the ghost reaches its destination, it should switch back to the idle state. But right now, it's not able to reach its destination. So my guess is, maybe it's not swapping back to that destination because it can't enter that space. If you saw before, when the ghost tried to move into that space, it was outside. So I'm guessing, and I'm wondering if the ghost is able to get inside that space when they move, so if I do this here, once they move, they're going to go on the edge of that circle. So maybe it's an issue with collision, because he's not going in the circle. And so I think that's step one. Seeing if we can figure out why the ghost is unable to get into that circle. So right now, he's going outside of it. And if we get the ghost in the circle and it's still wandering, then we could figure out everything to do with idle. But for right now, something's the issue with the ghost not being able to go through it. And I think that's to do with either area or body. The ghost has if we go up here, the ghost has, right, ghost, yep. What is this guy here? Collision shape, yes indeedy. A collision shape is what the ghost has. And I believe a collision shape is physical in the world. So that's to say, if it were, there's two things. There's area and then there's collision. I think collision allows you to interact with objects. Area is just more of a sensor. And if we go into our seats here, so where they're supposed to go, the targets, so this guy here, it is an area. So I'm wondering if this collision is not acting with the area, possibly. So area 2D, yeah, it says it's a collision object. Disable mode, remove static. Nope, you're good to go. And as I understand it, you have your layers and your mask. The layer stands for where you are in the world. So layer is, yeah, you are, this is a target, so that works. That's what 4 stands for. And then a mask is what they can sense. So the target can currently sense the customer, they can sense the ghost, and they can sense the path follower, which was the little skull running around during the tutorial. So that makes sense. If we go to our ghost here, what can the ghost sense? What can it see? If I click on the ghost, you can see it exists on the ghost layer. That's what you can't see it when I'm hovering, but 7 is labeled as the ghost layer, and it can sense the player. That's all it can do. So my question is, why are you doing things? What I'll start off by doing is I'll disable all the other things we have going on here, just to make sure that's not the issue, because it could be. Yeah, turning these guys off, so the only thing we have to look at, and only thing we have to take into account is this collision shape. That guy right there, disabled is not true, one-way collision. Yeah, I'm wondering, can it be an area 2D possibly? Would that help at all? We have current state, all of you guys here. Yeah, what would we need collision for is my question. I do know there was a bug before where the ghost would dance on top of the player. That was quite funny, but that's not what we want to have happen. So you know what? Let's see. Can we convert this? Change this into an area. Yeah, an area. Area 2D. Can that work? If we make that into an area 2D, what does this say? Ghost has to have a collision shape. I see. And define its shape. Okay, so because I'm guessing it is a entity or a body 2D, it has to have a collision shape it can reference. So that makes sense. And funny things are great until they're laughing at me, so it's getting in the way of my game working. It is a bit of a shame. I'm gonna game dev for some time while you stream. Lovely, lovely, Mr. Detector. I hope it goes swimmingly well. Yeah, it's fun. And right now I'm working on map generation. Ooh, I wish you luck, especially since you said it's a roguelike. I think roguelike's up there with being difficult, and I think once you get the hang of map generation, it's not as bad, but those two combined together, that sounds like a feat, but I hope you are able to accomplish or get a little bit, at least a little bit of progress done. So best of luck. So let's see here. Yeah, one-way collision. And then our ghost here exists on the ghost layer, and disable mode, priority all of these guys here. Yeah, okay. So I'm certain it's to do with collision, it's just figuring out that collision. Step 1 was disabling these guys. So let's see if the ghost now can move through the body. And I'm trying to implement something close to Binding of Isaac. Ooh, I don't know too much about that game. I've tried it before, but I think, well, actually, that's the thing of, I think it might not be hard until I try it. So I can't really comment on it since the ability, the knowledge of what goes into developing a game like that, I have no idea. Let's see, we'll go ahead and move our ghost. So did moving or disabling those areas, so did disabling status, radius, and vision allow us, nope, you're still at the edge. We wanted to go to the center. And have you played Bob Is You? I've not, but I've seen people play it. I'm not much of a fan of, not much of a fan of puzzle games, but I do like the idea of it being centered around programming language, where if this, then this, or this, then this, that is a neat idea. So their ghost is still wandering, and my question is why? Another thing I think which would be handy is to have a way for the target to say when something is in its radius. So if body is entity, and if body is target, body.target is self, what we'll do is we'll print out. So if the body is entered, we'll go ahead and say, let's see here. We'll have this run. That way, we'll see if that makes it a little bit easier. And modular approach might be crazy for the game, and maybe they use component approach? Maybe. And have you played a short hike or TOEM? TOEM. What's TOEM? Never heard of TOEM. Short hike? Nope, have not. So let's see. We'll have it print. So utility dot print debug message. We'll have it say, and then we'll do the body dot name, and then we'll say, well, body dot, no, there's no 2D. If body is entity, yeah. If body dot name plus has entered, E-N-T-E-R-E-D, and then we'll say plus, and then we'll say our name. That way, we can check to see what's going on behind the curtains. I think you don't like cozy games then? I enjoy Fields of Mystery. I enjoy Stardew Valley. There's some other games I can't think of, but I do like cozy games. And I remember hearing that the working prototype of Isaac was done under the week. Ooh. But how much experience did the developer of Binding of Isaac have? Yeah. How much did he have? Was it a thing of he had years of being in the business of game development, or was it one of his first few projects? It is a Moria cozy game. It's a horror game. I would not call it cozy, not at all. So let's go ahead and spawn in the ghost, and we should get a message saying that the ghost has entered the space. And yeah, ghost has entered idle spot 1. So now if we go ahead and move the ghost, let's see if we get that new ghost has entered. If it's saying, oh, well, we get those targets. There we are. So does the ghost enter the space? It does say it. Ghost has entered idle spot 2. Interesting. So it does register the ghost as entering the space. Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's move the notification button area down. And thank you for the follows. Oh, Zipland, possibly. I can certainly try again, but thank you. Welcome in. Just let me know. And Amori's Cozy, if you only circle around one battle area and refuse to interact with the plot or otherwise progress. Oh boy. Let's see. And the programmer wasn't familiar with roguelikes. I can say that. Interesting. Well, if they at least had some programming background, even if it wasn't specific to that type of genre, I definitely think that does help. At least pronounced Zip Pond. Oh, was that better? Zip Pond? Let's see. We'll move this debug guy now down to if body equals target, or body target equals self. Because these guys are assigned to one another, if who should be what, who should be assigned. So if we move that guy down there, do we still get the message? So I'll go ahead and spawn in a ghost here, like that. And ghost has entered idle spot, which is true. And you're right, I see. Zip Pond then. Welcome into stream. We'll go ahead and have the customer, well, not customer, the ghost move. And now what we're hoping to see pop up is ghost has entered. So that's what we're hoping to see. Yes, ghost has entered. So we know for certain that the ghost is being registered to enter that spot, but for some reason, the ghost isn't going for the center. And game dev is all about if and else. Joke. Very true, yeah. If else. And pawn in video game lingo refers to something. Oh, pwned. Oh, I see. And it's not the nicest words, but it's wonderful for banter. Banter is very fun. And I signed pawnage too. Let's see. So I'm wondering, if body is enter and entity.target is set.emit self, I think what we should say is, or rather, I'm wondering if it's not working because the ghost isn't going to the center of it. So how can we make it go to the center? We should have it go to the location, a specific location. Possibly that could work. If we go into here, you can see move state. If I click move state here, for our guy, we have if entity target. So we set a target to the entity, current position, next position, direction. And we just have it continuously move. So once the target is reached, that's what we need to look into. And if we go back to our target guy here, this guy here, we can see entity.target is set, entity in area is true. Where do we use this entity in area? I think that's what it's gonna land down to. Because I do know at the very least, I do have and you could call it a bug since it's not intended. It's not a game-breaking bug. But at the moment as well, our customers also have a tricky time going to where they should. For example, the customer should be at the center of that green guy. And if I have the customer move, watch where the customer sits at compared to where they should sit. That's a little off-centered. So maybe it's a whole architecture. The structure of my game itself is a little bit broken, but the customers work a little bit differently than the ghost. If I go back to here and I look at customer, you should be able to see, oh, you can't. Hold on. Customer, let's see. Customer status, customer icon, customer tab. Can we see the customers themselves? Like if I were to look up, let's see. Status manager, customer, you here? Oh, nope, that's not that there. Where we at? Let's try Necromancer, Necro. Necromancer sprite, here we are. The sprite looks like this. So maybe it's the thing of their face being the target point, but in the game, they land over here. So that's a little tricky. I guess maybe we can have a sprite for the center to align to show where they should go, possibly. But for now, let's do the ghost and then maybe come back to the customers. So what we'll do is we'll go back to here, spawn in the ghost as well, because I want to get a good idea of what's going on. So spawn in the ghost, and then we'll move the ghost to one spot. That way we can have the two guys. And then from there, I'll take a screenshot. That way we don't have to keep checking to see what should happen, what is happening. So once that guy gets to where he is, we'll then go ahead and also take a screenshot. So let me get the clipping tool here. Lovely. You here, and that guy there. Lovely. Okay, and then from there, I'll go ahead and also save it. So we have the bug registered and saved on the side here. And hi, Rodrigo. Welcome into stream. Welcome in. I hope you've been well. So let's see here. And that's another correct pronunciation. I see. Yep. So let's see. With that said, why is the ghost not going to the area? That's my question. If we go ahead, close this guy here, this is what's currently going on. Oh, hold on. This is what's currently going on. So-and-so has entered is set, entity target is set. Where are we using this at? If I go up here, we have the ghost state machine, we have connect, and we also have emit. So when the ghost enters this area on target reach, so on reach target, what happens here? On reach target, if the entity, so we have an entity and target here, and hi, lazily excited, welcome back into stream. Hola, welcome in. And you have an impressive teaching ability, oh, thank you. I can certainly say I have a slight clue what I'm doing, but I'm certainly not a teacher at all. So I'm glad my explanation is at least understandable. That's always really nice to hear. So let's see here. Once we're in this function, so this function happens when the ghost enters, so that's what the on target reach is. So on this on target reach, we take the target and we take the entity. If the entity is not the ghost, so whatever ghost we're looking for, this is during the state machine, yep. If it's not our current ghost, and if the ghost's current state is wandering, then we set it to idle. Okay, well, let's put a breakpoint here. I don't like using breakpoints, but because we know where it might be happening at, we'll add the breakpoint. Just here a little bit. ¿Cómo estás? I do know a little bit of Spanish. I can at the very least say, one time I took a class of Spanish back, like maybe 3rd grade, possibly, and I still remember the song of the water cycle all in Spanish. It's never left my memory. They usually say, when you want to make something memorable, put it into a song. That has helped. That has helped so much. So we'll go ahead and spawn in a ghost here. Let's see if we can have the, oh, hold on. We don't want this guy. We want it for the next guy. So we'll have the ghost go ahead and move. And once the ghost moves, we should be able to get the guy saying the idle state. So let's take a look at that guy there. See why. See if we can get even a clue on what's going on. And what do the ghosts do? So the ghosts do a few things in the game, but currently all we're focusing on at the moment is getting the ghost to move around in the game. So currently we're only working on the ghost movement, but in the game itself, ghosts work like customers where you can serve the ghost food and banish them. That's how you get rid of them. And you get rewards for banishing them. And also the ghosts serve as a obstacle in the game where if ghosts are in your cafe, you want to banish them because bad things happen when the ghosts are here. And you're saying we force lazily to speak Spanish. Oh boy, and currently causes issues. Yep, that's also true as well. So let's see here. Wandering, yep. Okay, so we have reached the breakpoint, which is good to go. Once this guy has been reached, what should happen here? Necro dead means for manipulation. A wizard who can manipulate the dead. This can be a person who revives the dead or can control them to make them do things. All the things I say, all the things is what the necromancers are capable of. Especially because we have a very affluent necromancer here. She's pretty good. She's just afraid of ghosts, an irrational fear. So let's see here. If I do you here and you here, the ghost is here. So if we go back to our script, let's click on our step into button. You can't see it, so let me slide over a little bit. If I slide on over here, you should be able to see a little bit more breakpoints. And if we do step into, we have if ghost not entity. So now we're in this. If ghost's current status equals wandering, then we should idle the ghost. So if I click here, idle ghost, we have the ghost. If ghost to idle equals ghost, yep, that sounds right. Change status to idle, and then ghost to current. Oh, hold on. Ghost to idle.current status equals wandering. Huh. That doesn't sound right. This right here doesn't sound right, does it? Change status. When we change the status, we should change the current status. So if I just get rid of that, what happens then? I don't know, inconvenient. And GTA 5 reference CC. Let's see here. Go you, here, go here. Okay, so with that line of code deleted, where are we at? Let's see. Go ahead and, oh, hold on. Let me remove that there. Alrighty, click that there, and we should have spawn ghost if I click on continue. Is the ghost spawned? Yes, indeedy. Alright, move the ghost then. Have the ghost move here and here. Lovely, okay. So ghost is wandering, and I'm curious to see if we just remove that. I'm gonna lurk because I have a recommendation report draft due. Of course. Well, thank you for lurking, and thanks for stopping by and chatting for a little bit. So good news is, the ghost, that line of code wasn't the issue, but the bad news is the line of code also wasn't the issue. Let's see here. If we go ahead and have if ghost idle ghost, yes indeedy. And what are we trying to idle the ghost as? Idle ghost. When we click on idle ghost here, we do ghost to idle, and then we do change status.type to change. So let me click on here, and then let's see. Yep, okay. Let's click on play here, see what we get. If I click on play, and you have to wrap it up as well for the time. Well, not in general, but just because ads are about to start. So let's see if we can figure it out before then. So spawn ghost, go ahead and have the ghost spawn. And oh, I forgot the breakpoint. Let me go ahead and click on, nope, breakpoint's good to go. Lovely. So we'll go ahead and have our ghost move. So move the ghost to the next spot here. Let's see here. And like that. All right. And if the ghost gets to the spot, we should get the breakpoint. Now that we're in the breakpoint, it says change state type idle. If we go into here, if current state equals new state, return. We're currently as wandering, we want to be set to idle. And can you mute at least or lower? Is it super loud? Hold on. Yep, can mute it because I do like the music, but I can certainly lower it. Is that a little bit better? Let's see here. And he's American. Let's see here. So we're in the current state. If the current state not equal to none, then we can have the current state exit. So we have the state exit. And in our exit for state, we do that there. That could be an issue. Exit, do all of that there. And then we do enter new state. Enter new state means current state equals new state, and then we do state current enter. And when we do state enter, we also do that there. Okay, so I think it's to do with the idle state. Possibly the idle state is what we're having an issue with at the moment. Let me turn the music possibly up on my side and then a little bit down on your side. So do let me know if that's a little bit better or too quiet, since I believe 2 moderators are here. You can also let me know too if the music's okay, good to go now. All right, so I think the issue is going to be our idle state. If we go to our ghost here and we go to idle state, our idle state is currently state. And we don't have an exit and we don't have an enter. Well, we have an enter, but we don't have an update. So on our move state, if we click on this guy, on exit, we don't have an exit either. We only have an enter. So I think the issue is, because we don't have an enter and an exit state, music was fine from the start. Could we bring it back to like a value and go like 20% down from that point? Let me bring it up on your side. That might make it a little bit easier since mine is at a good volume. So let me see about possibly there. How about that? It's about 30, 35. So how about that modification there? And let's see. Yep. Okay, we're good to go. Great. So going back to this, our move state, our idle state. For our customers at least, the customers too have a move state and an idle state. And way too loud. I can hear it. I can't hear now. Well, I know I'm definitely louder. JK. How silly. Let's see here. Back in our ghost. Yes. So I'm thinking it's going to be an issue of our enter and exit changes. If we go back into concepts here, let's see. Go into here and we write down a little bit. We have an idle state and we have a move state. So idle, let me zoom in a little bit more since this seems to be super duper tiny. That's not a D, that's an A, D-L-E. We have an idle and a move, M-O-V-E. And then from these two, we have an enter, E-N-T-E-R, enter, and we also have an exit. So exit, E-X-E-X-I-T. And currently at the moment, the ghost is confused because it doesn't know what to do when it comes to these guys since they aren't entered, or when they're activated, it's an empty function. So I think making it, or trying to figure out what we want to have happened, what we want to happen will be the case. But as we're about to start, so we'll let them run. And then when we get back, we'll see if we can figure out what we want to happen. And that'll be it. And don't have enough points, but I'm reminding you to breathe. Done and done. And hi, is it LF Barbie? Welcome into stream. I can certainly try your name again if I did mispronounce it, but welcome in. So that's what we'll be working on. Ads are currently here at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll do some stretches, we'll get some water, do a little bit of a reset, and get a little bit of just R&R going on. And then when we come back from the 3 minutes, we will continue. And breathe. Sure. We can add breathing on in there. And hi, Ancion. Welcome back into stream. And pitch. Oh, I'm all people I expected. I didn't think that was going to happen. And hi, hello, welcome into stream as well. Looks like the elevator's here. All right, when we come back from the ad break, we'll do the elevator pitch. We'll do some stretches, we'll do some breathing, we'll do it all there. And welcome in as well, yeah. And how are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing super duper excited. I'm hoping that soon I'll be able to put more of my focus into developing the game. That's fingers crossed. And what's elevator pitch? You'll see. That's all I can say. All right, let me get some water here. All right, water good to go. And hi, Eris. Hi, hello, welcome in. All right, some stretching. And I've been traumatized by the elevator joke. I can't do them again. I can't go back in there, man. I just can't. Let's go to the right a little bit. And then let's go to the left a little bit. And then let's go back a little bit. And then front a little bit. And then let's do some neck stretches. Let's go to the left a little bit. And then let's go to the right a little bit. And then let's go down a little bit. And then let's go back a little bit. Another one you can do is turning And then going down. That one's pretty good always. And someone explain! Don't worry, Thetis Blue. Yeah, all will be explained in due time. Don't you worry. And then I'll ever ask for. We can also go to the left and down as well. There we go. All right, now for the stretch redeem. Let's see here. Oh no, breathe redeem. So what you'll do is you'll take a few breaths in. So hold it and release. Another breath in. Hold it. And release. And one more time. Another breath in. Hold it. And release. All right, that's breathing good and good to go. Okay. Lastly, well, at least will be the elevator pitch and hydrate. Sure.
Mr. DR Banana Rama just redeemed hydrate.
Okie dokie, we should be good to go in that regard. Lovely. So once that is up, we'll do the bridge and then we'll get back into things. Oh my, how fun. How silly but fun. And I think the hydrate is good before. Oh yes, the hydrate's always good. What I want to know is there a center point of an object? How many seconds do you inhale and hold for? I hold about, I think 10 or 5. I think I did it about 3. I held it in about 3. And welcome back from the ad break. There was a redeem for the elevator pitch. So give me 1 second. You all stay right there, get all nice and comfy. And hi, Pixeliana. Welcome into stream. And I read I don't know multiple times. Oh boy. Let's see here. Yep, be right back. You stay right there nice and cozy, all right? Run while you have time! There's no escape. So, somehow we're back in this room. We were in here earlier, but you're in this business room, and you're here, I'm here. You can't really see me, but there's a bit of an elevator in the background, and to escape, or to leave here, all you have to do is just wait about a minute, and the elevators will be free. Aside from that, there's really no other way to leave, unfortunately. I don't control these things, and so there's the elevators. That's it. No doors, no stairs, no tools you can use. It's just you, the elevators, and and me. Hi, how are ya? Oh boy. And I'm coding a water drinking app. Oh, how fun. I hope you have fun. So, welcome back to the elevator pitch. Fancy seeing you here. The elevator pitch is a section I like to do at the stream where I spend about 45 seconds to a minute explaining my game and giving you the rundown if you haven't been here before, if you haven't been here in a bit, and I get better at explaining the game in my time. Now, what is the game? I'm sure you're asking. I'm sure you're quite interested in knowing why. That game is no other than, Necrotype Cafe, rhythm typing cafe game. So the name of the game is, once the timer reaches 45 seconds, I'll spend the time attempting to pitch my game to you. And by the end of it, I'm sure you'll 100% be sold on the idea. And jump scare, this suits you? Oh, I don't know if you were doing a pun or not, but that was a terrible pun. Oh, welcome to Necrotype Cafe, a rhythm typing cafe game where you play as Gabriella, a necromancer who's sent by her necromancer family to a prestigious wizard academy. The idea is that it's a rhythm typing game, so the cafe portion, oh no, okay, so cafe, it's a cafe game. The cafe idea is where you serve your customers, your fellow wizard students, and it comes into play, the rhythm typing, comes into play by the idea in order to serve your customers, you have to create dishes via spell casting. You have to summon the food, and you summon the food via poetry. In this game, magic is done via poetry. So the hope is that you have to type out different beats, different words and rhythms, and okay. And as you go along in the game, you'll unlock different things, you'll unlock different stuff, and my mind went blank. I only have enough memory storage to do one of these, not multiple in a stream. I'm sure you were heavily convinced. That was a quick elevator ride. Oh boy. With that all said and done, why was everyone so scared of this? Like I was enjoying expecting a jump scare. See, it is not at all scary. I'm glad you agree. Yes, this is not a scary time. Now that we're done with business though, let me go ahead and take the suit back off. Let me go ahead and get Bobby back here. And we will continue now with the regularly scheduled program. Back into concepts we go. Also, was the music audible with the elevator music? I think I forgot to mute it, but lovely. As scuffed as scuff can be. 11 out of 10. I'll take it. Oh me, oh my. And let's see. I'll buy your entire stock. Perfect. I like the, what's the word? Like the cut of your jib, I think. And done with the business and back to business. Oh yeah, official business. With that said, the scary thing is that we're trapped with this for a minute. Yeah, I wouldn't call it trapped, just inconvenience. The wording here is very, very important. Oh me, oh my here. No, I did read that too. Lovely, lovely. And now the music's too loud. What? Really? Hold on. Are you kidding though? Just checking here. I didn't touch the music. I just think I forgot to mute it. Let's see here. Let me drag this into here, drag this into here, and drag this into here. All right. So you didn't tell them about the cameras? They don't need to know about that. She has glasses now. I had glasses for when we do the programming streams. And welcome in, by the way, Mizun. Welcome in. And since you said glasses now, I'll assume it's a welcome back as well. So let's see here. Let me move that guy down here. So when we have the idle state, we expect to change animation, enter and exit, and not trapped, but instead we are stuck in an inescapable situation. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Yeah, you're just stuck in an inescapable situation. That definitely sounds better than trapped. So for our idle, let's see. We want to change the animation. CHANGE. Change animation. ANI. Hold on. ANI. MATION. Change animation. ON. Change animation. And we also want to stop the animation. So change animation and update status. So let's do that there. So change animation and also update status. These are things we want to have happen, and it sounds dark. Hi, Noi. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. And instead of being trapped with Eris on game dev, we're stuck with Ezra on business pitches. The two sides of the coin. Let's see here. We want to update UPDATE. Update. And then change animation, update. We want to update the status. So STATUS. So anytime we're moving towards idle, we want whatever the entity is, we want it to change its animation to idle, and we want to also update its status to idle. When we leave the idle animation, I think we would just have to stop it. I think that's it. We would just stop the animation on an update. So on exit, I think it is just stopping. So we'll do stop here. Stop. S-T-O-P. S-T-O-P. O-P. Hold on. O-P. Stop. So stop the animation. And then when we enter our move state, what we want to have happen is to, and how often do you feed the elevators? The elevators aren't an omnipresent, I think that's the word. They're just there, I assure you. There's nothing bad about them. They're just an inconvenience. And also hi to the chat, I'll late. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you are too, Ansia. And thank you again. And how you enter and leave something if you're idle. The idle means not moving, right? Yes, idle means not moving. The idle is also associated with an animation though, and it's a different state. So we have a state manager that will update to different things. For example, if I go to our ghost here, I should be able to find it. If I go into our animation tree, you can't see it. You're not supposed to see it at the moment. I'm just grabbing these guys here. And then we'll go back to here. And then if I click on this guy here, and business, how about you? You can see here, in the game, we have different states. So the idea is that if you are in the idle state, which you start off as, you're in the idle state, you want to move, so you go to, oh, hold on, we don't want an arrow. Once you're in the idle state, you go to wandering. And once you're in the wandering state, you go back to idle. So the ghost should be able to go switch back and forth between these two states. That's what these two arrows stand for. I was kidding, Eris, but thanks for the explanation anyway. Well, of course. I can never be sure. And for a second, she almost said the elevators are all powerful beings omnipotent. You can't convince me that wasn't a lapse. Oh boy, I'm a bit tired. I hope you're able to get some good rest soon. And a shape has been recognized. Can you go back down, or do I have to open settings? That might pop up for the time, and then I'll check it in a little bit afterwards. Once we're in the move state, so we're switching from idle to move, now what do we want to have happen? And now for the music, but to sound louder, somebody else? Really? Oh, okay, hold on. There we go. Hopefully that is a little bit better. Interesting. Yeah. It's definitely up to interpretation, but I do mess with the settings a little bit here and there. I did modify a little bit. I just turned it down. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Let's see. We want to change the animation when we enter the move state. Music sounds perfect on my end. I see. Interesting. Yeah, I turned it down a little bit, so hopefully that is handy. So we want to change the animation when we enter the move state. We also want to update the status when we enter the move state. And we also want to stop the animation when we exit the move state. So it seems to be the case, we need to do all 3 of these. And the sleep will be in quite a while. Oh, I see. That's a little unfortunate. Let's see. Move there. So it seems to be the case, whenever we're swapping to a new state, we do a few different things. So if we go back to our programming screen here, what do we see happening? When we're in our idle state, we go down here, we can see an enter, an update, and that's it. We don't even have an exit. Oh, no, we have an exit here. I'm gonna move you here, since I think enter, exit should be next beside each other. And sometimes Twitch is acting out like that. I've experienced it in different streams. Interesting, huh? I wouldn't put it past Twitch, since sometimes technical difficulties are a thing. So we have enter, exit, and on our idle state here, that's what this guy is here, and on our move state, we have enter, we should have an exit. There is no exit. Okay, so function for exit. Let's see here. We'll start off with the idle state. When we have the ghost function called, so if we go back to ghost, let's see here, ghost manager, and we have change ghost to wander state. If we go to here, add ghost to idle spot, yes, change ghost to wander state. Wander ghost target. Yep, and where do we have this guy happen at? We have you happen there, ghost to wander, so ghost to wander. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna have to follow things down. It's okay, I don't help with the tiredness you get after waking up. Besides, I actually need to get up and at some point be awake. I see. Hopefully you can shake those tired bones for a bit and get in the feel for it. And let's see. Okay, so we'll close path follower here. We'll also close, we'll keep state open. We'll close target. So entity is in target set area. Yep, and entity is in target. When we click on this, do Control F or Control Shift F, we should be able to find it where it is connected. So on target reach, this ghost state machine here. And hi, and welcome into stream, welcome in. And this music is so chill. I do agree. I'm glad you like it. If you'd like to hear more of this music, if I do exclamation music, you should be able to find the composer Game Chops there. And I like the style. I like your style. DKY, felt comfortable saying it. Found the sympathetic. And normally I can't focus sounds, but I'm being productive. Good, lovely. That's always nice to see. Sometimes it can help to have someone, working along beside you. So I'm really happy to hear that. So we're in our ghost state machine, and we have entity target is set on reach target. So once the ghost reaches their target, what we have happen next is we have the ghost idle. So if ghost's current status is wandering, we idle the ghost. All right then, what happens when we idle the ghost? Let's see here. On ghost idle, we do change state, and we have change state set to idle. So this is what happens. And does ears compose music too? I do indeed. I can certainly say that. However, whether the skill level, can't say that much, but I can say, for example, if I click play on here just for a quick second, you should be able to hear it. If I click on that guy there, and I click back on you here, can you hear it now? The audio? I made that song. That song right there that you can hear now. I did make that one. I also made, let's see. I made this one here too. I made that one too. I made all the music currently in my game I have made, but we'll be getting some other songs in here too. Let's see here. I go ahead and close that guy here, click on play here. And the music too, lovely. So let's see. With that said, we have change states. And here we are in change states. So if current state so-and-so, other so-and-so, then state, current state, enter, ghost here. Yes. And I believe our state machine is just the state machine. Interesting. Yeah. We might have to merge this with a customer since they work a little bit beside. And how do you make music? I would say a lot of trial and error, a lot of testing. To do that, I'd say music GS, I believe that should work. That should hopefully get you started in learning music. That is a link to my website where I list all the helpful resources I was able to get, as well as also link you to these streams where I learned how to do music. It usually regroups anything, ADHD to with a lot of conditions. Huh, interesting. I'm free from my work, so I'd have to go. Good luck. No, of course, Jack. I hope you have a lovely time now that you're free from your work. And thanks, of course, I hope it's handy. Basically, it's different functionings of the brain. Yep, that does make sense. So let's see here. Change states. So we're checking to make sure the states aren't the same. So if we're already in state, do nothing. Next up, we need to exit the state. However, currently, we don't have an exit. And if going back to the concepts, when we exited our state, we stopped the animation and we also updated the status, things that nature. So if we go to our idle guy here, what happens when we exit? You can see exit, nothing happens. So I'm wondering, do we need to exit or add anything to exit, or do we just add everything to enter? I'm kind of thinking maybe we can just add it to enter. Maybe that would be more beneficial. So for example here, we go back to our ghost state machine. Exit, let's leave that blank for now. Let's focus on enter. So when we enter our idle state, this guy here, we should see function enter and state. Yes, indeed. And what we want to have happen is to play our idle animation. Question is just what idle animation to play, and we'll also need to see our type. Yeah, play here. So our state's that there, and if type, go back to this guy. Okay, so how can we do this? We would want to play the animation associated with it, and we can only grab those animations from, I think, our state manager. If I click on here, where do we play our animations at? That's what I want to find out. Where do we set it to play? Is it here on our ghost where we set it to play? Ah, it is. And it's been so long since I last used the state machine. State machines are a little bit tricky. I have seen that. And I wish I knew, probably though, especially given the fact that other often comes with reasons together. I must say that you should always exercise caution when seeing what's a part of here. Yep, I do agree as well, yeah. Making sure you talk to a doctor is super duper important. So let's see here. When we update our animation tree, what we're checking for is our current status. That's the key here. So what I'm wondering is, if maybe for our idle state, we just change the status to a different status. You can see current status here, and we have status.status idle. This status is associated with the ghost though, so it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to see, maybe we can have it specifically to a certain status, in the sense of this idle state works for both customer and also the ghost. So what I would want to have happen is change to idle animation. animation. Something like that. Change to idle status. status. Something along that is what I want to have happen. But how to have it happen, I'm not too sure. So what I'm wondering is if we can have it change the status here or somewhere else. Enter in the status we would like to update our entity to. If we click on, let's see, it's our entity here. What do we have going on? We have target speed, navigation, and target. Yeah. Ideally, I want everything to end up here. I don't want to change anything outside. And hi, Mohammed. Welcome into stream. Welcome in. How's life? It's going wonderful. I've been sick recently, but I'm feeling a lot better now. And pop culture statements. Let's see here. So, and thank you for the follow, Surgeon. Welcome into stream, and thank you. So let's see. How can we do this? We want it to work for both the customer and the ghost. So I'm wondering if we can have it say the type of entity. We can see entity here for its example entity. Yeah, new entity status. And so how can we do it exactly? Maybe what we can have happen is to set up a certain function for the animation. So what I'll do is entity dot change change CHANGE, change underscore, change animation, ANIMATION, change animation. And then I think what we'll do is do type, so type dot, and we'll say idle, something like that there is what will have happen. This way, we can then go to the entity, copy this guy here since it'll be a function. Now that we're in entity, we can add a function that'll work across all entities. So I can do func here, change entity, and then we're going to do state or type. Let's see, type, and then we're going to do here state, and then let's see, state.type, I believe will work. Hold on, let's see, state.type. We need you to be, let's see, class name state. Is it lowercase that you want? Hold on, let's see, lowercase state. Like that? Lovely. So func for there, you void there, void, and a function, hold on, what is this saying? Let's know, have a followed by a body or be marked as @abstract. What is @abstract? Is that a new thing? I remember reading about it when it came to, what is it, Godot? When it came to 4.5, how to make an abstract function. I'd love to know about that, so let me Google it. Let's see. Abstract function and Godot 4, because that's a new thing. And I wish you luck and health. Thank you, Mohammed. I hope your life's going just as well too, or even better even, as that's always really nice to hear. Let's see, abstract class. So if I do, well, it's @abstract class. I want an abstract function. So is it @abstract like this? And then we do this here? like that. Class entity is not abstract, but becomes abstract methods. Mark the class as abstract, remove abstract from all methods of this class. Yeah, I just want a function to be abstract. Is that a possibility? Abstract function Godot. Does it have to be an abstract class, or can we add abstract functions? And let's see. Godot for abstract classes. Yeah, I want to look at Godot abstract functions. So let's see if I can do a little bit more Googling, because you have classes, which is this entirety. So I'm only seeing results to change this all to abstract. I want only this to be abstract. That's what I would like. So let's see here. An abstract is a function that cannot have a body. Yep, and declare a function as abstract. Yeah, that's what I would want. And you can only do abstract class by doing abstract and function method. An abstract method is a function declared within an abstract class. Okay, got ya. I don't think it's possible to make an abstract function then. And hi, Spanish Casa Dish. Welcome in. Hamburger. Well, welcome in. Well, let's see here. That there. Okay, so I'll remove that abstract there. We'll change that to there. And then we'll do void. So that there, void. And then we'll say, utility dot print debug message. And we'll say if, what can we say? Changing type to something, or how can we do it? And hi, Hardronics. Is that how you say it? Welcome in. Hold on, let me check this as well. Yeah, I thought I saw that name before. Welcome. And I don't think it exists in Godot. I looked for it some time ago. Hi, Larry the Slap. Well, in Godot 4.5, there is now the idea of abstract. There is an abstract class now. There is not an abstract function. So I can't only make one of these abstract. If I want to have abstract, I have to do all of this as abstract. I thought I would maybe be able to do it specifically, but abstract is now in Godot. That's something that recently happened. So let's see here. What we want to have happen is we will want it to change its animation. However, because we don't know what animations are going to be here or what they're going to do, we'll just have it print. I'm not ready to learn another scripting language yet. I don't blame you. Thankfully, though, I'd say GDScript's not that bad. And intent, but I'd like to underline this and see the thing is usually different a lot. I see. So what we'll say is, and we'll go here. Let's see, change animation. You know what? I like the idea of saying update a little bit better. So we'll do update, update, update animation, like that there. Save that there. If we then go back into our Go state machine, is that what we're looking for? We're looking for our idle state here. And Batman. Let's see here. And yep. And I just made the function its main class with a push error in it. Then I got the error if child classes do not implement that function. Yeah, that's what abstract is. Abstract, you could consider a safety. So you're kind of some coding wizard. I wouldn't say wizard per se. I am definitely an apprentice. And does Godot let you override inherited functions? Yes, you can. So you couldn't abstract this function, but you can leave it blank and override it. Yep. That's what we'll do. Since I can't have it abstract, I only wanted to do it abstract because I want to leave it blank. I want it to, you to have to purposely do it in the function itself. And I did that as well. And what are you working on right now? Oh, hold on, let's see. Hold on. Make the function main class, push error. Yep, push error. Oh, yeah, push error. That's a good idea. I forgot that existed. And hi, by the way, Latch. Welcome into stream. Welcome in. All right, let's see here. And you can leave it blank and override the class in the function. Yep. Okay. So let's go ahead then. Let's go back to our, I believe it was idle state, and it was change animation. I want to change this to be update. I think update's better. Update animation, like that there. Update animation. And with that done, we would then go back into our entity here. So in our entity, the thing is though, we don't know if it's an error because each entity is going to implement the function differently. That's why I think I didn't want to do the error, because entities might have a different way of doing animations. And break time for you, of course. And how are things going? Things are going great. A little bit confusing, a little bit sad that the thing I wanted to do is you're not capable of doing in Godot, but that's okay. It's a thing of just, if it's not there, you can always make it yourself, or there's always usually a workaround. Let's do updated animation, animation 2, and then we'll go ahead and do, well, let's see, error. We'll do an error here. Error cannot update animation. This is default class text. Something like that I think can work out better. And then from there, we can do utility dot, and we'll do debug color, and then we'll do error. There we are. So it just lets you know, error cannot update animation. This is a default class text. I think that's good. And the way about challenging much, and we're good. Lovely. Okay, so print animation there. And then from there, the thing I wanted to do, the thing why I wanted to have the entity in here is, for example, if we go into our ghost again, so go back into this guy, our ghost is an entity. So now what we can do is, if we go into update animation tree, all of these guys, what we'll just do is do a function here, and we're overriding the function of entity. So all we have to do is really just grab our entity guy here, this guy here, function, ghost state, this guy right here, like that, function update animation. After that, then what we have to do is say, let's see, if, or rather, let's see, match type. I think that's it. And then we do state.type.idle, and then we can do pass here, and we can also do state.type. And yep, thank you to the two of you as well. It is making it a little bit difficult to read text since there's a lot of text in between their conversation. It is getting a little bit difficult. So thank you for moving the conversation over as well. Let's see. We'll also do move, and then we'll just do those two. And on our idle here, let's have it change our animation. So what we'll say is changing the animation to, let's see here. We'll say current animation, or do we have a function for changing our animation? I don't believe so. We just have update animation. So what we should be able to do is just set our current status equal to, so current status equals to status, hold on, status dot, and then we'll say idle, like that. And then as well, while we're here, we can also say current status equals status dot wandering, like that there. There we go. I think that should work out well. And side note, you talked about adding salt to coffee. Didn't like it, but that did make me try adding cinnamon. Oh, cinnamon sticks to my coffee. Still got to figure out the best way to do it, but loving having more flavor in my home coffee. That's always lovely to hear. Yeah, the thing is, I love science. I don't know if you can tell, science and math. So the fact that coffee is a bit of a science, and how hot you make your coffee, what specific beans, how long you leave it on, doing little experiments like that, I do enjoy. I'll have to try cinnamon sticks though. That is an interesting one. And with your leave, could I continue this conversation and stream discussion? Sure, if you like, Frost. Yep, yeah, that's a-okay. Let's see, save that here. Okay, so now that we have our update animation, what I'm hoping is now when we swap to idle state, we're going to have it say, hey, do update animation. And on our ghost, the ghost itself is going to then say, all right, I know what to do. I'm going to change your current status. And if this works, then we'll also change it for our, oh, hold on. Why are you angry? The signature does not follow the function. Hold on. Move state. Why are we angry? Does not follow the parent state, enter. Oh, I see. Hold on. Your old code. There you are. Lovely. Okay, play again. Do you have a good joke in mind? I'm not a big fan of coffee, but have you tried Tim Hortons? Hold on, and ordered, oh, I see, gone to a coffee place. I don't usually go to coffee places. Usually the coffee place is all the cream and all the sugar. I can't control how much goes into it, so I'd rather control the amount and ratios at home. Let's see here. Let me update Godot so that we are here and keep up the good work. Thank you, Wallace, and welcome into stream as well. Welcome in. Let's see here. You here. And I do that. And you know, it's wow how usually game development ranges from happy-go-lucky to, yeah, I got a PhD just to make the surface ripple. See, that's the thing. I ended up dropping out of college for game development, so I can at least say I didn't get one. I didn't go all the way to getting a PhD. Most of what I've learned here is through just trying to learn game development. I tried to do, I was going for a game degree, or a degree in computer science, and specifically game development. I learned C++ for about 2 years before dropping out, so I didn't learn much, but I did learn enough to get me started, and I'm a dropout too. Yeah, it's the thing of realizing you don't need a degree in order to get the things you want. And the Grizz Tech is black coffee and 9 things of sugar. Huh, it wasn't bad, honestly. Interesting. Hold on. I'll copy that then. As I do enjoy trying new coffees. There we are. I'll save that for there. Thank you for the recommendation. Alrighty then. So let's see if our enter and exit for our ghost ended up working. So we spawn the ghost here. The ghost is good to go. We'll then have the ghost move to another state. So let's see here. Working on file system library. Woo! Gotta implement Windows next. Also, did the screen just flicker there for you? It's flickering. Huh? Weird. I'm not sure why it's flickering. Did that fix it? Let's see. I don't know where the white flickers came from. Maybe that'll fix it. And I finished college. My degree isn't useful, but I do have all the depth. Yeah, that's the unfortunate bit, is that depending on what you're going for. So I'd say if you want to become an indie dev, maybe not getting a game development degree. Well, maybe don't get a game development degree. If you want to become a dev that works in AAA studios, so things like Riot or Blizzard, then getting a degree is worth it because that would go on your resume. But if you're an indie dev who works by yourself, then you don't really need a resume because the resume is supposed to prove your certifications. But if you don't need to prove your certifications to people, then it wouldn't be worth it. And yeah, all the debt. Oh boy, and it sounds like you get all the calories from the day before, and it was sugary milk with a hint of coffee. All right, well, go ahead, have this guy here, and let's see if our enter and exit worked. Calories don't matter if you have metabolism. Let's see. Good, lovely, look at that, it worked. The idle is now set to the idle animation. The only issue is the customer is not able to, well, not customer, the ghost didn't go to the center, but we're getting there. That's the important part. So I'm really happy to hear it, lovely. Okay, now, if we move our ghost again, let's see what happens. The ghost goes to wandering, and does it go to where it should go? Let's see here. It goes back to idle. So we fixed it, I think. I mean, college can be useful for keeping your physically around other motivated people. It depends on if you're willing to socialize or not. And I definitely wasn't the type. I don't like group projects. Those are never my things. But now that I have a little bit of experience, now that we have a little bit of social experience as well, I do want to work on game dev projects with other people. I think that could be fun. And self-style motivation is actually a whole challenge to cultivate. As we're so right now, college won't get you closer to an indie game. And also, do you do regular Godot or Steam one? I use the Steam one. I, for a second, was using the regular one because the Steam did get updated. But yeah, I'm using Steam Godot. Okay, the thing is, we know it's working. And what we can do after as well, right? Is just to make sure we do it properly. I'm wondering if we can just do neuter new entity and just set this type to equal move instead, like that. Does that work? And why are you angry? Oh, indent. There you are. As a college student, I can confirm that college is a great way to lose money in order to make money to pay off the loss of money. The cycle continues anew. Let's see. We have that there. And then if we go to our other guys, we should have those good to go. And in our ghost, if we go back to our ghost here, when we have it set to those guys, yep, we should be good to go. Then we set the status to wandering. From there, what we can do is go to our customer, since the customer also exists here. And on our enter and exit, let's see if we can also just have that good to go. So on you there. I think it'll be a little bit different since the customer has a different system. So I don't think it'll be worth it to update the customers themselves, so we can look into it in a little bit. Gotta get back into the flow, so have fun, I learn. Of course. And group projects were always bad for me. Always got the couple of people that didn't communicate until the final day or two. Yeah, the thing is as well, though, I will say it, I am probably, well, it depends. But if I can, I like to have control of the situation. One might call it on the bossier side of things. I'm either that, or I'm either just, I will communicate as less as possible. But I try my best to be as early as possible, and also try to get things done as possible. But I don't like being the one who takes charge of it being impossible. I'd rather be second in command. That's a little bit better. Being first in command's a lot of responsibility. Second command, not as bad. We'll go ahead and do pass on here. That way that is there for the customer. And we'll also do update animation pass for our little path follower here, since he is also counted as an entity. So you can go ahead and do that there. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Lovely. Okay, so with that said and done, let's double check it. And I feel that you're excited more in the second in oh. Yeah. Oh boy. Let's see here. Because I love organizing, but it's just, I don't know. It's tricky having the weight of responsibility on your shoulders. There's a lot to take in. So let's see. Spawn in the ghost here. And nope, it's already a good one, thanks. I see. And I'm really curious about how many hours you have on this project combined. Well, Mr. Retector, if we were to do a little bit of math, currently I am on, at least, what is it, documented hours on the programming since stream. I have streamed a total of 56 streams of me programming this game, not to count the time I've spent outside of stream working on the game. So at minimum, if we do, just to do a quick calculator here, that would be 56 times 4, so a total of 224 hours combined, at least on this project. is the time I can give you, the gauge at least. And care to motivated work is wonderful, but stick is so draining. So much better to have somebody else in charge of rules. Yeah. Let's see here. So we'll go ahead and spawn in our ghost. So spawn in ghost here. Spawn the ghostly guy here. Lovely. And now that they are idle, let's see if we can make them move. So once I ghost, let's say customer, you can now move. Let's see. Oh, also, I was a, what, how could I move you? That is interesting. Why could I move? You're crazy? Yeah, I'm telling you, over a year's worth of work. I have 250 hours for 3 projects combined. Yeah, oh man. That will have you completed the projects though, or just you've been working between them. So let's see. Ghost could also, I was able to move the ghost, which is weird. We'll tackle that after we figure out how to get the ghost to the center of the target. I think that'll be the case, or that'll be important to figure out. We want the ghost to move up until they reach the center of the target. I think that's the issue at the moment. If we go to our ghost, I'm just curious to see. We go to the cafe, go to our remote, go to cafe here, and we go into our, let's see here. We go into ghost. I should be able to just type it. Manager, ghost manager. Yep. And ghost, where are we at? Ghost. There we are. Our ghost current position is, where are we at? We're 494 and negative 237. And if we go to our, I don't know what you are. Let's see. Ghost target manager. Lovely. Ghost position manager. Let me remove that there for you. We should be able to see. So you're at about, what was it, 400, 200? This guy here, 483, 230. And the ghost here is at 483, 230. Not at 483. We want the ghost to reach the position. Once it reaches the position, then we should be at the center. And just curious, but what did you do prior to this project for streams? Also, hi, Iris. Hi, Chapel. Welcome into stream. Speaking of, hold on. Let me make sure I do get a shout out in. Shout out. We're at the Whitechapel. There you go. Another lovely game dev. I forget. I know you work in one of the U engines. It was either Unreal or Unity. But if you're more interested, well, if you're curious about development in that sense too, I would check out Chapel. He's working on a Metrovania at the moment, and he uses a monochrome palette when it comes to pixel art. It's lovely art. I can certainly say that. As for what did I do prior to this project, I didn't. When I started streaming, this was one of the first streams I did working on this project. So since streaming, I've been working on this. I've been streaming for a little bit over a year now. That is the timeline. The idea was that, all right, to have something to stream around, I'll start streaming and I'll do this project. That was the whole point. And it's just like, I can't believe it's been a year. I'll never get over that. I can certainly say that. What we're missing is the position. The ghost needs to be at the position. 2 of them are finished. Oh, lovely! And now working on the 3rd. And the one row looked like I was talking. I see. That does make sense, Mr. Retuctor. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter how long you put into, how much time you spend into the project. What matters if you can complete the project. So if a project can be completed in 20 hours versus 2,000, then that's a lot of wasted time. So I don't know if I'd gauge time as an investment. Well, it was an investment, but I don't know if I would score time worked on it as a project as important, since a lot of the time could be wasted too. So let's see here. What I want to do is, I think what the issue is currently is that the ghost is reaching, oh, you can't see. Let me bring you into, let's see here, you here. Yes, indeedy, lovely. And let me bring you into concepts here. What I think the issue is at the moment, and better score dedicated time for learning something new. Yeah, I could see it as well. Yes, just step 1 is working on that thing. Step 2 is optimizing the time you spend working on that thing. Let me go here. That's this too complicated, so don't matter. It's this one, it just works bit by bit. Next up, now that we have the ghost idling where we want it to, we want the ghost to idle here. We want it to idle in the center. I think the issue is that when the ghost touches this point, it thinks to itself, all right, I'm done. I've reached my destination. We need a way for the ghost to say, I've only reached my destination once we've gotten to the center of that place. So that's what we'll do. And thank you for the shout out. Thank you for the answer. Of course. And Game Dev's time has been a lot of learning code and learning how to function in a productive environment. Yeah. Someone has studied there in isolation. You may have a different amount of time spent on the same thing. Yeah. Time is different for different people. So another thing we have to do is that we need a way to say on destination reached. That's something to look for. On, so let's see, on target. They're called targets. So we'll do on target, TARGET, on target reached, REA, CHED. We need an on-target reach for when they reach the center. Only then do we want to swap from idle to wandering. In order to become uniquely skilled at handling technical debt of our own legacy code and communicating your thought process. How sweet, Ross. I do appreciate it. Let's see here. Let me go into programming. So, because it's immediately swapping to, all right, we've touched the outer line. That's good enough for me. We need a way to say, we only want you to count when you're in our center spot. So you can see on area body 2D entered. What we're gonna say instead is on center. Something like that, I think, will work. Something where we only count it when they're in the center of this target. How can we do that? I think I'll call it for a day for today. Of course, Mr. Detector. I hope you got a little bit of things done. And the buffering. It is a little tricky. I hope I am explaining it well enough, though. So let's see. This is on the body entered. We don't want on body entered, though. We want something to happen when you reach the center. And that's where I am not sure about having happened. How can we have it happened? How can we have it happen where, let's see, function ready. Maybe we can do a process, possibly, and we're just checking for when it is in the center. That could work. So for example, here we do function, we do process here, and then we'll have if entity in area, and then there we go. Something like that there. We're checking for if the entity is in an area. If the entity is an area, we go ahead and say function, and let's see, entity reached center. And this will be a bool, so we'll return a bool. And the bool is only true if our entity dot global location, hold on, where are we at? We need our target. If our, are you called a target? Current entity. If current entity dot global underscore position equals, that's not position, global position, global position equals our current global position. Then, or rather, we don't even need to do if, we just do return, something like that. There we are. And we do that here. So if entity in area, then we go ahead and do this. And if the entity has reached, so if you there, then we can go ahead and let's see here. Made very simple, straight plus turn map generation. Map visualization. Now I'm working one room rendering. Oh, now I just need outdoors handling and everything's done. Lovely. Sounds like you got some stuff done. I just woke up for the little nap and I need to process where I am. What is going on? Now you are trying to fix the animations or to send this right to the circle. We initially had a problem with the animations. You can see if I go into concepts here, just super duper quickly. The issue was that they were still idling, they were wandering where they should be idling. We fixed that now, so now they idle when they're right beside it, but now they should be able to idle in the center. So anytime they touch the little edge, that counts as, all right, we've reached our destination, so they idle right beside it. So what we're trying to do is say, I only want you to swap and say you've reached your destination when you're at the center. So we're looking for the positions between the target and the ghost. That's what we're doing at the moment. And I also spent a couple hours in your VC talking with folks, so I hope you had a pleasant time. Let's see here. Let me go back into programming here. It's always nice to hear. Always nice to hear the Discord getting used. Not that fast and efficient yet. Of course, it takes time. It'd be a lot to expect as much. Let's see. If not entity and area, we'll go ahead and do return. There we are. And then from there, we'll have if you here. We'll then go ahead and say to do this. There we are. Entity target is set. There we are. We'll have that happen. There we go. So hopefully now, it'll only go in the center. And I also think this guy should be a little bit different. Let's see, Control-Shift-F. Where do we use this at? We use it in the ghost state machine, and we also use it in our utility. I'm going to instead say this should be called, we'll say entity, hold on, entity, E-N-T-I-T-Y, entity has reached, and then we'll do target. There we go. Entity has reached target. And okay, thank you. Well, of course. I hope your nap was lovely. If I could get naps, and I feel like my sleepiness would go away a little bit. So we have this, and we're just renaming it because I think entity target is set. No, don't like it. I like this guy instead. Entity has reached target. So now that we've modified that, now that it'll only register when the, oh, hold on. We forgot one more thing. Completely forgot. Hold on, let's go back to here, go back to our targets. One last thing we also need to do is that once this is reached, we can go ahead and say entity and area equals false. Like that there. We'll do that as well. Lovely. Okay. And yeah, okay. Lovely. Okay. And hi, Mr. Oh, you're on the other side of the world, I say. Oh boy, let's see here. Godot here. You there, you there, you there, and you there. Lovely. Okay, so with that said and done, let's see if it does fix our problem. It took me a second, but then I realized the first Mr. Dream. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and spawn our ghost in. See how it works now. The ghost is at their idle position. Lovely. We have the ghost in the idle position. Let's go ahead and have our ghost move to another spot. So move the ghost here. Let's see here. Yep, the ghost now is in wandering. It should go to the center of this guy and then go to idle. We don't want it to go on the outside. So it is still set to wandering. Interesting. Curious. Either we broke something or something else happened. I'm not sure which one. I'm wondering if it's because of what we did earlier, because we fixed it and then maybe we broke it again. For example, I'm thinking maybe here if we just do that there, does that fix it? Let's see. I think it might. If we just do that, spawn in a ghost again, so spawn ghost, and then we're going to go ahead and move the ghost. So let's see here, move ghost. Does that fix it? Because then we know our entering exit states, at least for the ghost, need to be modified a little bit, but that's okay. So now that we're here, you go there and you're still in wandering. Interesting. It was just working and now it's, oh, hold on. Never mind. It was working before and now it's not working. I think because it says ghost has entered, but ghost isn't in the place yet. So is it a thing of just collision or what could it be? Okay. In that case, what we'll have happen is we'll save this, also make a backup because we didn't do that earlier. So backup of 2 changes. So back up. There we are, commit, and push. Lovely. Okay. And then from there, what will have happened is, we'll say we're trying to find out why it is the case, and oh, the game's not played, why when when it's reached the target, so once the ghost is in that area, we only want to emit this guy here, if target is in an area, on area body 2D, if not entity in area. So do we even go in this code? Let's see. So go ahead and click on play. That should run the game. Then we can go ahead and have levels here. We can go here, go and spawn the ghost in. Something like that there. And oh, hold on. If entity has reached center, we'll go ahead and skip that there. So skip it. And about sleep, because of work, most people can't do this, but sometimes in your life, you should try being up for 8 hours and sleeping for 4. Ah, it sounds like the Batman cycle of relaxing or resting. Yeah, being up for 8 hours, sleeping for 4. Repeat that, and it's like you get 2 mornings every day. Interesting. I might have to give that a try. Something I've noticed for certain is that I am not a morning person. I've tried often to wake up in the morning, but it never lasts. It always, anytime I wake up early, it always gets pushed to then waking up at like 2 p.m. and it never goes well. Right now, my sleep schedule is stable. As stable as it's gonna get, I suppose. And oh, thank you for the, oh, it did pop up. Lovely. It's a little off-centered. But thank you for becoming a member on YouTube, Mr. Dream Studio, and welcome in. Let me see if I do, let's see, grab our notification screen. So if I just grab you here and just maybe shuffle you over a little bit. So I think I might have to do it on the other side. But thank you. No, let me make sure. I don't know if they do messages on there as well, so let me just double check on YouTube. No, it does not. I see. Well, thank you. So let's see. If we go back to here, we go back to, let's see around here. Lovely. Okay, so you here. Ghost, go ahead and move, and then we'll see if it does happen to have that guy trigger when it does enter the area. So does it happen? It does. If entity has reached center, and let's see here, we go and do step into, and we get back, what? False? I think it was false. I see. Interesting. It also says our current entity is null, which is interesting as well. Entity has reached target emit. I am quite curious about that one. Yeah. Okay. So from the looks of it, it seems to be the case that it's just now doing these guys. An entity in area equals false. If we scroll down here, does entity in area equal false? It does. Interesting. So it goes back to processing. And we didn't, I don't think we did go there. Hold on. Let's try again. Let's see. Go here. Yes, indeedy. Then we go to, and Ezra can ask something. Sure. Ask away. If it is a little off topic, I might, well, it depends. Well, let's do the question first. Spawn in a ghost here. And then we'll go ahead and skip you. So go ahead and skip that guy there. And we'll go ahead and move the ghost again. And let's just double check what's going on there. So he wanders, and we might have to add a debugging speed for the ghost as well to make sure they can go fast enough. So if entity reach center, so we have you. Do we go in? We don't. Do we go in? We don't go in. I see. Okay. So this guy's not going off, which means it might be a collision thing. Where? Oh, also current entity. Are you null? Hold on, let's see here. If you study art theory, how do you go about taking notes? Oh, well, it depends. I read books on art, and then I take notes depending on if I can apply things or not. It depends. If you've seen one of my pixel art studies before, you can kind of gauge how I do studies or how I take notes. It's a lot of things of just figuring out a method, so breaking things down, building things up, and then pinning the ideas of, okay, what have I noticed? What can I get to a conclusion of? I just love to support you, because you opened my mind for creation and how to create my own projects in this way sometimes. Thanks. Thank you. I tell you, it's always really nice to hear. It's that thing of, a lot of the times, people struggle, but they don't realize, or they can't just see other people struggling. So me learning this and seeing other people start picking up game development, or maybe picking it up again, is always really nice to hear, and I do wish you the best in your projects as well, and thank you all over again. That's very sweet. Let's see here. I'm wondering if the ghost can come out of the collision, right? If entity has reached center, current entity.global position. Let me print, and then we'll print out this here. That should give us an answer on all of these guys. So we'll go ahead and do that. We should like true or false printing about. So let's see, you here. Go ahead and spawn in. And people are really sweet here. They are indeed. It warms my heart that a lot of the community is very sweet and encouraging. And that's what I hope. A reflection of everyone putting in their hard work together and seeing the fruits of their labor. And I am free! Did my college work. Well, welcome back, Lazily Excited. I'm glad you did your work. Better to do it early than to do it late. That's one thing I've learned. Oh boy, deadlines. Never again, if I can help it. All right, well, go ahead and have this guy move. So there you go, move. And let's see, it should say true, I believe, or true and false, or it should start spamming it. But it does not spam it, which means something else is amiss. It's not reaching here. If entity reach center. Oh, hold on. How's it gonna do that? Hold your horses. There we go. Lovely. Okay, now do that. Let's see. Now that it's been taken out of the thing that's not functioning at the moment, spawning ghost again, spawn ghost. And let's move it, Ghost. And hi, D9KD9K. Welcome into stream. And I wish you productive development hours. Thank you. It's always enjoyable to get some programming in. Whether they're productive, though, is a bit of a different story. But the hope is that the more I do this, the more productive I can get. So we'll go ahead and move the Ghost from that spot to there. Alrighty, Ghosty, let's see what you got. I'm going to hope that it's going to spam a lot of true or false statements in the console, but we'll see. It should start saying things now. Yes. Target reached entity center. Yes, indeedy. Okay, well, it is printing things. It's not printing the result, which I am a little interested about. What we'll say instead then is if you there, we'll just do that instead. There you are. And why are you angry? Global position equals global position. How about that there? Lovely. And hello. I'm a little late, but I'm here. Well, hi, Teresie. Better late than never. Welcome into stream. I hope you've been well. And for whatever reason you were late was like really good reason. It doesn't even have to be a good reason. I hope it was a good reason to you. There we are. That's a little bit better. Let's see. We're currently trying to figure out why the ghost won't go to the center of our targets. So you can see here, when we spawn our ghost in, when the ghost is in the world, it is in the center of the circle, this guy here, and it's also labeled as idle. But when we move our ghost to another spot, what we're having issue is, you can see, it's wandering, and when it reaches here, it should go in the center of the circle, and it should also say idle again. But for some reason, it's not doing that. You can see, it does not reach that center position for some odd reason. And that's what we're trying to figure out. And let's see here. Where do we set entity in area at? Entity in area, on unassigned entity, all of you guys here. Yeah, on area 2D body exited, entity in area equals false. I see. All right. Well then, entity in area, unassigned entity in area equals false. Assigned entity, current entity. Why are we using entity in area? Just a question. Where do we use this function, or where do we use this variable at? We use it in target. We also use it in move state. And we also use it in our path follower. and that's it. Is this even a variable we need? Is this old code coming back to rise from the dead? Possibly. So, you know what? We'll go ahead and just remove it for now. And then we'll see about everything else in here. If body is entity, yep, we'll go ahead and remove you. We'll go ahead and remove, oh, hold on, that's too much removing. Remove you as well. We'll go ahead and remove you too. Current entity equals you. Yep. All right. On body, current entity not equal to null. Yep, all right. You look like old guys there. We'll go ahead and say that there. So instead, what we'll say is if body equals self, then we'll say we have been entered if it is our target. And then we're going to say target or entity, isn't that what we call it? Yeah, entity and area. All right, so entity and area is going to equal true here, something like that. And now we bring back the entity and area now that we have a new guy. So let's see, variable again, hold on, var, and then we'll say entity and area is a bool equal to false, like that. So I'm removing it and moving it around. So this is the only entity we should worry about. When our entity is in our area, who are we looking at? Now that this is set to true, if not, so if it's false, it's not going to do anything. But if it's true, then we're just checking for this guy here. And it should only become false once we've signed everything. So let's see if that works. If it doesn't, we'll go for the ad break, and then we'll come back and see if we can do a little bit more. So let's see. Spawn in our ghost and give it another whirl. So hello there, ghosty. Let's have you go ahead and move to, oh, right. You have to move through code since I can't move you like a customer. Alrighty then. You're wandering, you're good. So far, so good. And now we have entered. But what do we do from there? We also have to do this here. And then we also have to say whether the entity is in the area. And I'm wondering, do we reach here? Let's check. If we click on that guy there. So, you here. Spawn in ghost here. Oh, hold on. Skip on you there. Let's see. Oh, you know what? When we spawn it, the entity in area, yep, entity in global, that there, equals false. So we'll go ahead and do skip. And should I go shopping today, or should I eat like a true college guy and just make the entire can of baked beans and dehydrated mashed potatoes for dinner? I could not tell you. It depends on how you're feeling. I think either or can work. Spawn, guess sometimes it's good to, well, oodles and noodles can hit very differently from time to time. I think it depends on what you're going for. Let's see. Move ghost there, do that there. All right. So this ghost here should give us a pop-up, and then we should be able to check the values. So now that we're here, we should be able to see our target. They feel like a huge buffet. Well then, I think you have your answer for some baked beans and some mashed potatoes. Let's see. We have our entity, we have our current entity. Area, entity, and area is ticked on to true. This should be right. Yes, it should be true. Then we enter into has reached target, or hold on, if entity, if you and you in here. Current entity gets set to null for some reason after all of this. And that's what I'm not sure about. Why is it getting set to null? If we go back to here, to our target, to our cafe, we go to one of our ghost targets here, so in the game, and we go to our, let's see, target, or ad start, and oh, okay, I can no longer hold them back, so we'll do that there, and we'll click that guy, so the ad should start. Let me just find where our manager is for our ghost, and then we will pause for a second to let the ads run. And this is a good idea. I would normally serve 6 people, but I'll do it on my own. You know, what was it from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? It was, I can eat a whole buffet or family size. I just eat it slowly. Or I don't need a family to eat a buffet. I just have to eat it slowly. Something along the lines of that. That was a really funny quote. I just don't remember how it exactly went. Let's see here. Go for our ghost target manager. No, ghost idle position, idle spots. Here, that's what I wanted to check. So we're looking for our idle spot of 1. We also have you, and we also have you. Which one are you? You are current entity, area, entity, and area. Yup. You are you. Aha. Yes, indeedy. And then we have you here. Okay, never mind. It's not showing me, unfortunately, what is what, which is a little weird. But when we come back, we'll see if we can figure this out. Something's off. And the dinner? Oh, dinner does sound nice. Lunch too. Food is always delicious when we are big. No worries. All right then. Well, since we're on the ad break, let's go ahead and do some stretches, shall we? Let's go ahead and start off a little bit to the left. And then let's go a little bit to the right here. And then let's go a little bit back here. And then a little bit front here. And then let's go to the right and go down a little bit. Hold it for a moment. And then you want to go to the right a little bit, hold it down for a little bit. And then for more neck stretches, you can go to the right a little bit. And then you can go to the left a little bit. And then back. And also forward. And, you know, I always say this, but I do enjoy these. These have to be my favorite. I feel like I get the most comfort out of these. And I started doing during the outbreaks, the stretches, because I think it's important to make sure you're able to stay on the computer for a while, because some people will go on the computer for hours at a time, like 8 hours, and I was one of those people. I was there once upon a time. However, it's not good for your overall health. It's good to every once in a while get up, stretch your bones, maybe take a walk once or so, and also resetting your eyes can also be handy too, as it'll mean you can do it for longer. Yeah, you pay the price now, so you don't pay it in tenfolds later. I think that's how the expression went. So it's always nice to just do a little bit of stretching here and there. I would get up and walk around as well, but I think I'll be okay. But ideally, yeah, a little bit of walking around, keep the blood circulation going. Let me get some water though. Alrighty, hydration has been completed. Last but not least, let's see, about 10 seconds left, so I think we're good to go. It's just going to be figuring out where our idle guy's at. Usually there's a big box that highlights and then you can select them. But for some reason, it's not letting us see what's what. If I go into cafe, just a quick second here, can we see what the idle spots are? This is idle spot number 3. So it should be this one here. Okay. And welcome back from the outbreaks. You have missed absolutely nothing. Just a little bit of stretching here and there. But now that you're back, why don't we continue? So let's see here. If we go here, I was trying to figure out which spot the ghost was at. It's at idle spot 3. That's what that guy's saying. So if we go back to our remote or a game here, if we click on idle spot 3, you can see that it does have the ghost as entity in area, and it also does have current entity enabled. So that's working as expected. That's good. But for some reason, it's also now just not doing what we expect it to do. If we go back into script here, it is if our position matches, then we go ahead and admit that it is good to go. Otherwise, we don't say the entity has reached the target. That does make sense, but for some reason, when our wandering state doesn't conclude, or when I click play, it should go into here because this is false. So we can't go, current entity.global position. Why are you null? When I hover over it, I don't know if you can see it, but it says current value equals null for some odd reason. So what I'll do and say is, let's see, print current entity. There we are. And we'll be able to see if it does say null, because it's telling me it's null now for some reason. So let's do a little bit of checking underneath the hood. We'll go ahead and do spawning in the ghost here, like so. And then we'll go ahead and have the ghost move, like that. And then we should hydrate. Sure.
Cat says on keyboard just redeemed hydrate.
Thank you for the hydration. And so it seems our ghost is good to go. We don't have to worry about it. The ghost is not null as I thought. Lovely. Okay, well, if current global position equals current entity.global position equals global position. Now, why is that not good to go? Is this giving us false? Is this giving us null? What we can do is do maybe a variable to check. var in entity in center, something like that, center, and then we can have a bool equal, and then we can do that there, and now we can do this here, and we can also have it print out too. So now that maybe should make it a little bit easier to say. So print, let's try that. Print entity is in center. This should be true. If it's true, then we don't need to move anymore. We can have it start changing its position. So let's see. Spawning in our ghost here, SPAWN. Spawn in the ghost. Let's see. Ghost is spawned. It has true. We'll go ahead and move then the ghost here, like that there. And the ghost will then move over. It should start spamming false until it moves again. That's what we're hoping to see. Yes, false. However, it can't keep moving to the center. So something is stopping it, I think, collision-wise. We're 2 areas. It won't move to the center for some odd reason. And I think it has to do with just something to do with the ghost and its collision layers. And disable mode collision object, make static, moving platform. Nope, we don't need any of that. We need to figure out why one space can't go into another space. In our target, it is an area 2D. And we can see here, it exists on the layer 0, and you can see that one. That's good to go, I believe. We also have area on here, one-way collision. Yep. we just want to detect. So if a collision object meets a collision object, I think that's the issue. Both are solid objects, so when the ghost tries to run into it, it doesn't enjoy it. When the ghost tries to go from its circle to that circle, it pauses there. There's friction here, but at the same time, if there's friction here, I would expect it to be the case that when a ghost tries to leave the area, they aren't able to leave since there's friction everywhere. So that's what I'm a little bit confused about. If we go maybe into our ghost, let's enable our navigation agent. This is what's responsible for figuring out what the ghost is looking for, where the ghost is trying to go. So let's see where the ghost location is located at. If I go here, we go ahead and spawn in our ghost again. So spawn in ghost here. Let's move the ghost then. And we should see a red or a pink line to show, yeah, it's moving towards the center. I'm back with my protein cereal. Oh, how tasty. Yeah, you can see it's not at the center. It does not include that. And back with my protein cereal and chocolate milk. Oh, Chucky milk. And time to learn how to code. How lovely. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see it says it wants to go to the center, but it does not move to the center. Interesting. Okay, that is interesting. Why is that the case? In our move state, is there a way we determine when to stop? If entity.target entity and entity.target entity and area, then we change customer to sit state. This is move state, I see. Yes, you are customer and entity.target. Yeah, okay. Well then, we'll go ahead and do this here. We'll comment this out. We shouldn't stop trying to go there unless we say we're ready to stop trying. That's what I'm wondering about. And thank you for the subscription on YouTube. Let me go ahead and grab that name. That would be Kura. Thank you, and welcome into stream. Welcome in. Let's see here. Current position, next position. Yeah, it has the next position. So let's see here. Yeah, this is customer. We shouldn't need this. Well, it's for customer. So you know what? I'm not gonna touch it. We don't know what it does yet. We will just keep it here. Link target to position. We have that there. Update animation to move. All of you guys are here, good to go. Yeah, okay. And if we're not moving state, it's just that state, we'll also remove that there, just to be on the safe side since that's also new code. Let's see. We have, on update, we grab the target and target position. From there, we then skip that because that's customer. Yep, if current entity and it is, oh, I see, and entity and target. Then we do, this is not customer specific. This is just checking to see about entity and area. And then this is also return. So, you know what? Maybe because it's not customer specific, just commenting that out will work. Let's give it a try. So we'll spawn the ghost and then move the ghost. And we have, let's see. We'll have them move, think about where they're going in life, get to their position, and, oh, look at that, lovely. Okay, so that's labeled as false though, which is a little confusing. The ghost should be in the center point now, but good news is it was this function. I'm going to guess because it was customer, and we can modify the customer in a little bit. We can figure out the customer later. What we're going to do instead is do if entity.type, or if entity is customer, and then we'll just put all of this behind. We can deal with this a little bit later, but for now, because this is specific to customer, we'll just say only do this if you have customer. And since our ghost isn't a customer, this won't work. Well, this won't work on the ghost. So that's that there. That's set. We're good to go. I'll go ahead and add back that entity guide there since I don't think it'll make a difference. Entity dot update animation, and then we're going to do type dot move like that there. Okay, good, lovely. With all of that done, let's see here. Now that we don't stop exactly on that outer edge, let's go back to target here. And now what are we saying? It's printing this if entity is in center, and it's saying false at the moment. If entity is in center. Yeah, we want it to be in center. The issue is that it's not in center. Or at the very least, I think what should happen is if we reach it, so if we go back to our, where are we at? Are you there? Path.follower? No, we're looking for our move state. Yes, move state. I want to add a thing for if we reach your destination, if we equal the location, then don't do anything. Don't move. So what I mean to say is if entity.target, if, and then we'll go ahead and say if entity, E-N-T-I-T-Y, if entity dot position, and I do that, lovely. If entity dot global position equal to entity dot target dot global position, then there's no need for us to move. So return. Let's try that there. Hopefully that'll make it work. If we've already reached our destination, then we don't need to move. It moves regardless of if it's reached its destination. So we go ahead and spawn a ghost now. Let's see. We have idle. Go ahead and move the ghost. Go on and move on your merry way here. Let's see. So it's walking. So far, so good. Where are we at here? It goes down, it goes up. It's in, or it should be in the center. It's no longer moving, and you can also see. Oh, actually, no. Why can't I move it? What's going on here? The customer, the player shouldn't be able to move the ghost. That should not be a thing. Is it a thing on the player side? Let's see. Player exists on the player level, and it can see the world level. That's how that goes. If we go back into here, that's how the player works. We also have the hitbox of the player, and the hitbox should be connected to that. And then we also have our, let's see here, our detection range. Maybe that, it's an area 2D. It doesn't exist on any layers, but it can detect the customer, it can detect the ghost, it can detect objects, and it can also detect the products. So I don't know why you'd be able to move the ghost. That's quite silly. Let's see. If I go a little bit closer. Yeah. One of the ranges is allowing me to move it. For some odd reason, I can push the ghost, which is quite silly. We shouldn't be able to do that. That there is a bug. A quite silly one. Let's see. Let's figure out the idle and wandering first, and then let's go from there. So now that we have this here, we should have it equal to the guy. But for some reason, it's still saying it's not. Let's go back to the target. Let's have it print out. See what it's saying. So go ahead and have it print. We want it to say true. We'll see. And yay, bugs. I love seeing bugs and solutions for them. I am the opposite. Bugs and me don't get along at all. I much prefer refactoring and cleaning up code. Bugs, nah. No, don't like them, don't want them. You can keep them. Move you there. Let's see here. All right, so you're wandering, and are we going to get false now? Let's see. We have false. Despite the fact that these are equal, they are false. So how can we do that? How can we fix that? I'm wondering if there's a way we can do entity, let's see. If entity in center, yeah. What we'll do instead then is say, if we go to our entity, let's see, entity, where are we at? Entity, E-N-T-I-T-Y, entity. In our entity, maybe we can have a variable var called in target, and then we'll have it as a bool, possibly, bool. And we'll say it as reach target as well. Reached target, like that. And what I'm wondering is, we can override it a little bit and basically breaking games. I broke New Super Mario Bros. Wii when I was little and realized that playing games is the only fun I can have. And I now glitched out almost every game. Oh, that's wonderful. It's also terrifying. The ultimate bug tester. That's nice that there are jobs that exist like that out there. That does make it handy for people who like breaking games. As I can see the fun in it. Trying to find, what is it? No, exploitations. Yeah, exploitations in the code. Let's see here. What will have happen is on our move state, we're going to say, if you are in your global position, if you are equal, reach target equals true. That should be set to that. Otherwise, we're going to say entity dot reach target equals false, like that. And we're going to do that as well for here, entity E-N-T-I-T-Y. And then as well, what we're going to say is on an exit. So on an enter, we also need an on an exit as well. But that should be it. So on func underscore exit. Or how do we say it? Shouldn't be underscore, I'm assuming. Exit, there we are, exit. And that there, entity.target reached. I'm going to guess that is for state, and it's just going to be exit. Yes, lovely. And developers fear me. The power! I have so much power! I can believe it most certainly. Let's see here. Save that guy. We'll say this is false, like that there, to reset it. And on enter, it should also be false as well. So we'll also do this here. On enter should also be false. Just to make sure we're crossing our I's and dotting our T's. It's only true if we halt here. And then, fingers crossed, what I'm hoping is, by doing it this way, when we go to our ghost manager, instead of checking the position and getting that bool, instead what should happen is, if I can find where we're at, is it in ghost manager? On ghost manager, let's see here, you here, change the idle. Yes, I think you're up here. Let's go up here, and we have get ghost index, move ghost. Oh no, I'm lost. Yup, where are we doing our idle at? Let's go to ghost here. Our idle state here, is that it? Nope. Is it our move state? It is indeed our move state. Lovely. Okay, so what will happen then is if, nope, never mind. State manager. State manager, are you the one? Nope. Oh, where were we at? I feel very lost. Hold on. We were looking for where it was talking about with updating for equal position, but is it in ghost possibly for equal position when it should change it? On vision body entered, on you entered. Where did we go? Update animation, change that there, process there, all of you guys there. You're good to go. You make sense. State manager here. Entity has reached. How about you? On entity reached target. If you are that there, then we idle. Yeah, okay. And on entity reached target. If ghost target equals wandering, then we idle the ghost. Yeah, and this entity reached target is through this function. So if we do Control-Shift-F, we should be able to find when this is emitted. And it is in our target. Oh, I see. On our target. Okay, we didn't check target yet. So on our target, from there, we're going to remove this guy here. And now it's if entity reached target. Let's try that bool and see if we can get it working. So if that there. And now what is the issue? We have entity in area. Nope. What we need to do is current entity. So if current entity and if current entity. That there. Okay. Let's see if that works. Let's see if it is there. So spawn in ghost again and see where we can pick up from. So false. And then we'll go ahead and do move you here, move there. And we get error. Oh, yes, right. If not entity in area. Hold on. Why are you angry then? Current entity. If entity not in current area or not current entity equals null. Let's do that as well. That should be good to go. Okay. And on our idle state too, when we enter the idle state, entity in center should also be true. So we'll also do that as well. So on our idle, let's see, target idle state. When we enter as well, it should be entity dot, and then we have reach target equals true, because you are in your idle state. That does make sense. And when we're out of idle, well, it doesn't quite matter. It depends on what state we're in. Certainly, let's set that to false. Okay, so save that, clear that. Let's see how this goes now. If we click on those guys, so levels here, you there. Go ahead and spawn in a ghost there. All right, false. Move, let's see you there. Now, why are you angry? On exit, entity.ic. That does make sense. Okay, hold on. Because we have new entity on exit. How does your guy get set then? I'm quite curious. We have state, entity.reach target. Interesting. Okay, you know what? It's all right. We'll do that there. Let's see. Click on play now. Where are we at? Where are we going? Let's see here. Levels you here, levels you here. Spawn in a ghost here. All right, move our ghost now. Do we get another crash? We don't. All right. Wandering. You should now then get the bool, but you don't. The ghost is still moving about despite the fact that the ghost should now have its guy handled. So if we go to ghost here, I go GHO, we go to manager here, ghost manager, we go to our ghost here, it should be reach target enabled. And if I enable it, it disables it, which is interesting, isn't it? For some reason, it disables it, which is odd. Okay, well, next up then would be to see where it's disabling it at. If we go to our reach target, so Control-Shift-F, where are we setting it to false at? We have here on our enter, our move state. Let's go ahead and remove that since we don't know what it does. We don't need it at the moment. We're moving anywhere it says false. So this guy, not false. This guy, not false as well. Where are we setting it to false at is where we were trying to look at. All right, the only reason we should set it to false is on our, let's see here. You guy there, move state. We're looking for target. And then this should be the only reason we set it to false. So fine, entity and target false. and also describing it as target.entity and area false. And if target and entity, I see, and path follower, I got ya. Yeah, path follower might have to be looked at after this, but let's see where we go from here. So I removed everywhere it should be set false, so hopefully there's nothing getting overridden. So we spawn a ghost, we can go ahead and then move our ghost. Moving ghost, ghost is wandering, ghost should go to center and go back to idle once it reaches the center. It does not, it goes to false. Interesting. Huh, okay. I think then the answer is on entity in area, on this guy here. The last guy I remember is on our, let's see, move state. So if we go to our ghost again, we close this guy out. In our move state, I also think we set it to false. So what I'll do is also do this here. That was the other false I forgot about. Now let's see. And hi, is it Avriel possibly? Welcome to stream.
Just redeemed hydrate.
Yo to you as well. Welcome in. And hydrate. Sure. Gotta hydrate before I hydrate, most certainly. And welcome back as well. Alrighty then, water time it is. Agua. Water has been done. Let's see. Go ahead and spawn in you there. Spawn in ghost. And thank you for the team as well. How's everyone? Going great. Not too good because we're dealing with bugs, but aside from the bugs, going great. Let's go ahead and have the customer, well, not customer, but the ghost move. And let's see. We're looking for it to stand still and go to idle. Right now it is wandering state and it is moving. So once it reaches the center, we are looking for it to stand still. It does not stand still. And lazily. Oh boy, why are we getting false now? Let's see. And in-game bugs are better than IRL bugs. I beg to differ. Not all bugs are created equally. Then again, not all in-game bugs are created equally. Some bugs become a feature. Spin to win. Oh boy, they're just a little bit of spinning. Let's see. Entity reached global position. Okay, you know what? My question then is, instead of this, do we ever reach this? Is this ever a thing? I'm going to print reached location. I'm going to print that. Then I'm going to go back to my state here. And then what we're going to do instead is do some sort of guy here. And we'll see if we can figure it out. This entity and area, we're no longer going to even say that. No, thank you. No, we don't need you. You're not needed anymore. No, thank you. We'll go ahead and comment this guy out for now. And we'll also comment this guy out. Is there any other entities in areas? We will find out, that is for certain. We'll see if we break anything. So click on play here. I just want that to print. If it prints at least once, we're good to go. So spawn ghost. Let's see here. Have you reached the location? Nope, but we also don't expect it to happen when we spawn you. So I think we're okay. And this is also occupied vacant. We also need to remove that. That's somewhere with a print. So that needs to be removed. But let's see. Customer target and ghost has entered. All right, go ahead and move the ghost. Have you move along your moosey way. Go on now. Get. Let's see here. Occupation list is empty. Okay. And we don't get a message for anything to go on. Let's see here. State player, where we act with move state. We're looking for this here. If entity.global position and all of that there, that does not happen. So why? Okay. Maybe it's the case of entity.navigation agent.target global position. We can try that. Let's see. Enter in you here and do you here and set you as equal. Try that instead and then click on play. Let's do that instead. And we'll go ahead and click on play you here, levels you here, you there. Go ahead and spawn in ghost here. Alrighty. And then we'll go ahead and move the ghost again. Let's see. Reach location. Interesting. Well, it's sort of kind of working, but it's not the location we're looking for. It's supposed to go up here now, and it's also wandering, which isn't what we were after. But the good news is something did change a little bit. Current agent position, next agent position. Let's also try moving it down here as well. So entity move and slide. And after it moves, then maybe we do the check. So let's see here. Let's see how well this works out now. So levels here, you there. Go ahead and spawn in our ghost here. And then we'll go ahead and have the ghost move. You there. And you have reached your location, you're saying. But you haven't reached your location. Your location is not reached yet. Now you've reached your location. Can I pause the game? Something popped up. What popped up? Oh, ghost has entered. I see. Yeah, it's not quite what we're looking for. We're looking for it to say it only when it gets there. So if entity.navigation agent target position equals entity.target.global position, That's not what we want. We want if our, let's see here, entity.target position. Yeah, entity.target position, that's what we want. Entity.target, so if our ghost's target is equal to our ghost position, that's what we're looking for to see if we need to print and do anything else. That's what we want to happen. So we'll move it up there and then see about that. Go ahead and spawn the ghost again. Spawn in ghost. Go ahead and move the ghost to there. And now where are we angry at? Target position. Oh, entity.target. Target.global position. Global position. There you go. Click on play again. And are you not setting the target position early enough? Could you elaborate a little bit on eating Prem? And welcome to the stream, by the way. Welcome in. I'm open to all considerations. There's certainly, I could have missed something. I wouldn't put it past myself. Spawn in ghost here. Spawn ghost here. And then move ghost to that guy there. That guy goes there. Ghost gets moved there. And we're looking for it to print that print. But it doesn't ever print it, which is my confusion. The target position should be the global position of this guy. So that's when they reach the center of that circle they keep spinning in. But they aren't reaching the center. Their center isn't reaching the center of one of these guys, which is the target. That's what I'm confused about. I ask if the target global position is equal to the entity's position. And if it is, then you have reached the center. But we haven't reached the center. None of them ever reach the center, which is my little bit of confusion, what I'm wondering to be the case. So how can we do that? You're saying not seeing the target position early enough. Yeah, I would need a little bit more elaboration for that. We start off by getting the target. And so I see you're spawning the ghost in the code that spawns the ghost. When you give it a target to go to, do you set that straight away, or does it not have the target yet and prints early? Oh, it sets it as it spawns it. So after it spawns it, it sets it where it needs to go. I'm using it through a navigation agent, this guy right here. So that's where it gives its position. And I'm guessing why it was spamming reach position earlier is that if I go here, spawn in the ghost again, when the navigation agent activates, the red squares are each counted as a position. And is this pixel perfect movement? Is that an option I can set off? It could be a pixel perfect movement. For example, here, this guy's in the destination. He spawned correctly, and the ghost should have no problem going to that location because there's nothing to obstruct it. Hold on, move you here. So Control A, move you to that there. There you go. And I'm guessing it says reach location every time it hits one of those red boxes. But then once it's in that position, it should be good to go. I'm wondering, let's go to our cafe. So in the real time, what's going on in the game, if we go to our managers, we go to our ghost managers, what is the ghost's position at the moment? What position are we getting? The position isn't changing. No, the position is changing. It's going back and forth. I see. Okay, so it's going from 64, 62 to 63. It's kind of moving up and down a little bit. So maybe that's the case. Is there a way we can allow for it to be within a bit of a range of the pixels to account for that? But then again, even if we add a range of acceptable area, that's not a good idea, because it can then be a thing of, well, you see, you're in here. However, I don't like that you're in here. I don't think you're here correctly. So it's not something you can toggle. You normally program it in. I see. That does make a lot of sense. I'm thinking it's moving back and forth between the center. And I'm wondering, should we, and this is probably a duct tapey method, but add another little guy here for the center of the circle, maybe? And then once it reaches the center, then count it, and the position will flick like that because of floating point numbers. You can see something like if within, if within. How would you do, that's the within range, right? If within a range of so-and-so is what I would think. If, how can we do that? I do have a within range function. Hold on. Let's see. Var x in range. And then we can also have, let's see, x in range, bool equals, and then I can utility dot in range is in range. And then we would start it with the minimum variable, and then the value, and then the max. So let's see here. If the minimum, so the minimum is our global position, our target position. And then we can say, counting for those, we'll say minimum number, so whatever this is, -1, and then do the entity global position, And wait, what if when the ghost reaches the destination, it stops trying to go to that destination? That's what I tried to have happen. The issue is it doesn't ever see itself reaching the destination. I wanted it to return the moment it stopped at the destination, but it won't stop at the destination because it doesn't think it ever reaches that destination. It just goes near the destination, it hovers around it, but it never sees it as being at the destination. That's why I had to return up here, because if we're at the destination, we don't need to move anymore, but it doesn't see it as that. So then let's see, this guy here, our target position, and then we can go ahead and say this guy here, and then we say that guy there, and then do that there, and then we do +1 instead. And my question is as well, as that is a vector 2 for int. Yes, so we'll do .x, and we'll do .x, and then we'll do .x here, .x, and then do .x here, so .x. And I see, the reason it doesn't reach us is because of the floats. So instead of doing target equals position, something along these lines. Yeah, I think that might help. We're counting for all the floats we can do within a range of, give it a bit of an allowance, a little bit of wiggle room. So we'll try the wiggle room idea. We'll duplicate this, and this will be y in range. So we'll grab this guy here, y in range, and then we'll just do this to y. We'll do this to y. And if target position minus entity position length, I've never heard of that before. Could you elaborate on that one? That sounds interesting. Let's see, y there, y there, y there. And then if, let's see, you and you do that. Like that. Does that work? And if, oh, hold on. Reach location. It's possibly working now, maybe? I didn't know the code would update in real time. That is quite surprising. Let's see here. Print reach location. Yeah, okay, lovely. It seems to be working now, which is really good. If X range and Y range, then what we can do is have the ghost. Let's see here. Go to our manager here. No, target, in target. Where are we at? I believe, did we ever remove the, and I'm back requesting progress update? Well, welcome back. Currently, the ghost wasn't able to understand if it was within the range. The thing is, because, as Chapel was saying, it's looking for it to be pixely perfect 1-to-1 within range. So it has to equal the exact destination. What we did was add a little bit of wiggle room to allow the ghost to be a little bit over, a little bit under when it comes to location. So the hope is that now that we added wiggle room, it'll allow the ghost to sense that it is within range. So if I go ahead and do, let's see here, ghost, we're looking for entity specific. No, not entity. Yeah, no, we're looking for entity. I wanted to see about reach target. Yes, indeedy. Where do we do reach target? I think it's a thing in GDScript. The game immediately shows the changes you make so long as it doesn't crash. I didn't think, well, I guess, yeah, that is interesting. I know you can update certain things, but I didn't think it would be that flexible. I don't know GDScript, I use C# and Godot, but position is stored as a vector. You can take a target vector away from the original vector, then use the .length to get the distance. Ah, I see. I might try that out then. Thank you for that one. Yeah, I've only ever done C++. I'm still quite new to GDScript, but what I'll do here is copy this guy because I do like the idea of it. So I'll copy this because it would be fun to look into it as well. Let's see, something like that there. And then we'll go back to our move, or not a move, yeah, our move. And I'll comment this to do, hashtag to do, update to, and then we'll do this here. There we go, I'll save it in here. Because I think this might be a little bit too much, and this sounds a lot simpler. So, we'll see. We want to get it working first, and then we can modify it. And it would be a fun idea for you to try GDX extension C++. I have not touched C++ in years. And one of the reasons why I like using GDScript instead of using the extension is because I like having everything built in. So having another program open for all of the code is a little bit jarring for me. I like having the code in the engine itself. It makes it a lot easier than having two different screens with two different things of code. So let's see, save view here. Okay, so now that you've reached your destination, what we're going to do is we're going to say entity, and what is GDScript exclusive for games? GDScript is exclusive to Godot. So Godot uses its own programming language, but you don't have to use GDScript if you want to learn Godot. I believe it also knows C#. That's the extension everyone was talking about. Let's see, entity dot reach target equals true. True. And then we're also going to say our entity dot target, target dot position, global position should equal our entity, or hold on, not move that one there. There we are. Entity dot global position. global position, have it equal our entity.target position. So we'll also set the position to what it should be. Then we'll set the reach target to true, and let's see how well that works. And the word GD extension brings so much joy. Please tell me that's the official term for extensions on GDScript and Godot. I believe so. If I'm not mistaken, I think so. We go back to our ghost here. No, our target. Where are we at with targets? I don't see target. Target. Hello, target. How are you doing today? All right, so now, and it's back to flickering the screen. That is super duper odd. I don't know why. If not entity in area or current entity, an entity in area. Yes, indeedy. So if current entity is null, let's start off there. If current entity equals null, return. Then what we need to do is say if, let's see, if current entity equals null, return. Otherwise, we know for certain we have a current entity, and if the current entity has reached its, oh, see the flicker again? Is that showing up on your side, or are we good to go? If current entity equals null, return. And then we also have if entity in area, or how did we have it as? Area. Let's see. Entity in area equals true. Yeah. We want to do, let's see. If entity in area, if body equals target, blank has entered, an entity in the area here. Yeah. If current entity equals true, and if entity in area, we'll do that there. Yeah, there's flickering going on. And I don't see the flickering on Twitch. Is that a concern of a YouTube chatter? No. On my side, OBS has a white flickering going on every so often. But if you're not seeing a flicker, I'm not gonna worry about it. And C# is on the .NET mono version. You'll lose things like web exports. Built-in GD extension, basically compiling external code. I see. And no flicker here? Lovely. Okay, good then. If it's a me problem, I'll happily take it. Because if it was a you problem, then I would not be certain how to fix it. So that's good. Thank you for letting me know. Alrighty then, so let's see. If entity in the area, we'll have it, yeah. So we'll have vars here as well. Var, entity in area equals true, or false. And it's going to be a bool as well. So bool equals false, like that. And why I'm doing this is because I think it would be fine to have a reach target, and when it's an area, we're only going to check this if entity is an area. If entity in area, return. So if the entity is not in the area, we'll then say it's false. Otherwise, we can leave it as true because it is true. And what we'll say then is, we'll go ahead and remove that there. We shouldn't need that. And then what we should see, I'm going to put YouTube on and start boring into the screen with my eyes. From on YouTube says there's no flicker. So I think we're good, but I do appreciate it though, Frost. Let's see. So if current entity dot reached target, all of those guys good to go. Lovely. And if they have reached target, then we're going to say reach target equals false. So current entity dot reach target equals false. Like that there. And actually, before that as well, just so that we're on the safe side, because this might delete the current entity, we're going to remove that as well. And there we go, brim. Let's see. Entity in area equals true, because now the entity is in the area. And anywhere else, let's see, entity reach center. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. That's old from before. On unassign, and assign and all of those things here. Yes, indeedy. So on unassign, assign, we really only need entity in area on area body 2D entered, and an entity on area body 2D exit. So if current entity equals, if current entity not equal to null, then return. Or if current entity equals body 2D enter. Yeah, okay. If, let's see here. I would assume we could just kind of copy this guy here, copy this guy. If body is entity, if body.target equals self, then we can go ahead and say, but what I'd rather do instead is something a little bit different, because we're setting the target and all of those things, and I don't know if I quite like the way it is set as well. What I would want to do is say, if current entity, return, if current entity equals null, equals null, return. Otherwise, what we'll then say is, if, and then we'll do body equals target, or current entity, then we can do this here. And we should just be able to do this here, since that is all of you. And then after that, we can just grab this guy, and this should work the same where we first check to see if that's that. And if it is, entity in area equals false. However, it doesn't exactly have to be the case, right, that it is, because we're only checking to see if the entity is in our area, and the one that is our entity. We're only checking our guy. So you know what? I think it's fine. If that and has exited, EXITED, has exited, and then as well, on an unassigned entity, we can go ahead and do this as well. So entity in area equals false. So that should be good. We should be able to reset those guys. That should be A-okay. And then we just now need to see about the reach target. So if I go ahead and click on play here, let's see how well it goes now. So I'll click on levels here, I'll click on you here. We'll go ahead and spawn in our ghosty boil back, and is currently false. We'll go ahead and have you move, have you go there, and let's see. Wandering, and then from there, let's see here. How good are we to go? We're on wandering. You get to it. Idle! Look at that! It's working now! Isn't that neat? Oh, that's wonderful. Great. Good. Okay, now, once we know it is working properly, the safe thing to do is now make a backup very quickly. Backups, I can't, they're so good. Right, function, F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N, function, you're good to go. Lovely, commit and push, good. The thing is, we kind of modified and updated the system, so things might be broken for the customer and also the path follower, so we'll have to modify those guys too. Before that, let's double check that it's working on the ghost side of things, and then we'll go from there. Let me double check as well. Let's see. We can also disable and hooray! Yeah, hooray! Let's see. Go to our ghost here. Make sure our navigation agent is no more. We don't need to have it enabled or debug enabled. Yep. Don't need you. We also don't need collision. We shouldn't need it. I'm just curious about the bug with pushing the ghost. You can't push customers, but for some reason you're able to push ghost. Spawn in a ghost here. There you go. Ghosty boy. And we're going to have you move. And you should move to a different position, and you should go to idle again. And can I move you still? I can. We'll have to check the customer, detection and the ghost detection, and idle. Alrighty, we'll have you move then again, and we'll also have another ghost spawn. So spawn in another ghost. Spawn another ghost. There you go. And you're back to idle. We'll go ahead and have this guy move again. So move ghost to random spot, and we'll have you also move as well. So move ghost to random spot. Our other ghost, look at them. Look, it's working. Isn't that neat? So wandering, idle, and now wandering, idle. Lovely. Okay, that is functioning in the way we expect it to. That is always nice to hear. The only question is now, so what's this game? I am currently making a rhythm typing cafe game. If you'd like to try it out, you can try out the current prototype. So if I do Necrotype, Necrotype, that should bring you to it. I am making a rhythm typing cafe game. Right now, we're working on the cafe portion of the game, and the idea is that you have to serve ghosts in order to banish them. It's based around the idea of being in a wizard academy. So you're playing as a necromancer. He doesn't want to be a necromancer. You want to be a baker. You want to be a chef. So you decide to open up your own little cafe. However, ghosts have decided to appear because you're a necromancer, so you have to banish them. So we're trying to get ghosts into the game. If I go ahead and spawn in a customer, how are they going to work considering we have the updated changes with how they move and sounds neat? Well, thank you. Let's see. Customer sits. Now, we were having the bug with the customer not sitting in their proper position. So, you know, maybe now we can fix that too. That would be important, I suppose. Okay, let's see. Visible collision shapes. So what I mean about the customer, and also, did you notice I disabled that code in the move state, and it didn't seem to do anything with the customer. This guy, or did I disable it? Nope. Still good to go here. Never mind then. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. This is a little bit too big for my liking. I'll save it here, and then let's see. So click on play. What happens then? We have you here, you here. Now you can see everything. When we spawn a ghost, it should go to the center. It is at the center. That is what we want. When we move the ghost, it should move, and then it should lock itself to the center. That's what we're looking for, and that's what should be happening. So when the ghost comes here, goes to the center, idle, good, clean, it's smooth. When we spawn in a customer is not centered to the guy. For some reason, you're not where you should be. The customer themselves, let's see. This might be due to the customers, let's see. You here, the customer collision shape, this path here should be about where we would expect it to be. We have the customer here, and we also have the sprite. You can see the sprite is here, the center of it, and the center of it is also, let's see, customer here. Yeah, the customer is also centered here. And if you look into the game, this should be at least a little bit down more, but it's like up and left a little bit, which is odd. And that's what I'm wondering. What we can do to start to check to see about why the spawning isn't working is if we go into our cafe here, we go into, let's see, customer manager. We can go into our customers and then our customer here, specifically this guy. Let's take a look at our location. You can see here, we have our position is 362-278. And hi, Brandog. Welcome into the stream. If I mispronounced that, I can certainly try again, but welcome in. And thank you for the follow as well. Hi. Let's see here. You're just trying to figure out why the customer should be on the little green circle. I don't know why it's not. And how did you learn to code? I initially learned to code. I initially was taught via going to college for it, but I ended up dropping out and starting my own attempts at self-coding. I do hope to, by the end of this month as well, come out with a full website resource as well as a video on just programming things in general. But if you're wondering how to get started with programming, and especially specifically game dev and also development, I would say a good place to start, let me see if I can quickly find it. I have it pinned, but I do need to have it as a command. You know what? I'm gonna add it as a command now. That's what we'll do. Give me 1 second, because I think it'll be that'll make it that'll be wonderful. So let's see. Game dev, there. And then if I just do this here, and if I just do this here, do you here, should be easy enough to implement, but actually it might take me a little bit more time than I think. We'll just do this here. And I think self-study's far better. Yeah, self-study was far better for me. There you go. That should be sent there. Oh, it wasn't sent to YouTube, so let me send it to YouTube too, if it'll let me. Do that there and that there as well. There you go. That should be handy. And I was just curious. Oh, I see. And oh, I got you. Yeah. Initially started off 2 years in college for C++, realized it wasn't what I wanted to do, or rather, it wasn't the way I wanted to do it, so I ended up dropping out and getting into Godot. It's a very short but sweet story. Let's see here. Our customer is there, and our customer is not centered as well. If we look up our ghost, let's see here. What is our ghost doing? Can we click it? When we click on our ghost, the square is also off-centered. So it's kind of like below and a little bit cornered too. So I'm wondering why. And also flickering. And I would love to have another short that talks about how to use your own website. It's such a diamond in the rough. I hope it gets found. I do have a short on it. Oh, you said another one. And with self-study, you actually learn what you're interested in, and what you're learning will often solve. Yeah, that's the thing. With self-study, you can curate to your interest. And I think that's really helpful. Usually when it comes to, Usually when it comes to school, colleges, there is a strict schedule, a strict regimen, and it's hopefully, painting with a broad brush. It's hopefully trying to capture everyone's abilities. But the issue is a lot of people tend to be outliers. So if you're an outlier and you go to school more leaning towards something that's not an outlier, then you kind of run into a situation where this learning system was not built with my type in mind. Because some people learn better by doing, some people learn better by watching, some people learn better by listening. And having the ability to tune that to you is really nice. And yeah, they may have requirements that don't do anything towards their grade. True as well, yeah. For example, I had to take English. I don't like English, but for some reason I had to read English books and then figure out why the door was blue and how to interpret it. And in my opinion, why is that significant to the story? Nope. I was out. I was done. I think less about how your website can help others, but more how often you end up using your own website because of how well structured it is. Seeing you use it yourself inspires me more than simply being told. I say. That's sweet. And yes, college, I imagine? I think it's colleges in general. Truth be told, then again, I only have experience with the US ones. Alright, with that said and done, we were looking towards our customer that's already left. I've been talking so long, the customer left us. And it's just open to your mind to help with communication. Yeah, communication goes a long way. And, let's see. Well, customer left us. Let's spawn in another customer. The customer position. When we spawn in a customer, the customer should go to the position. If I go to our customer manager, let's see, and I gotta go. Well, thanks for stopping by, Anne. And so yeah, of course. I hope whatever you get up to is a lot of fun. Let's see here. What we'll do is we'll stop the game. We'll look at our customer manager. So our manager, and here's this good energy. Thank you, how sweet. Let's see, M-A-N-A-G-E-R, oh, customer, C-U-S-T-O-M-E-R, customer manager. All right, you You are responsible for spawning and deleting our customers. You should also be responsible for teleporting our customers to the specific parts that we want. And yeah, I get that. Why was the door blue? Maybe the author's kid favorite color was blue? Like, what am I supposed to call up the author and get the answer? Exactly, yeah. How do you interpret it? Feel within your own emotions. Dig deep down and find what makes you tick. No, I came here to make games. I don't want to look inside. No, thank you. And I finished my software engineer degree last year here in the UK. It wasn't too bad. It's really did the C++, and work stuff was mainly data science. Yeah, data science wasn't really my forte either. Dealing with bools. Not my favorite either. Let's see. Customer manager on spawn customer. The customer should teleport to the wait spot. We can see here, or do we? Wait spot.global position. That's what we're looking for. Wait spot assign entity. New customer target. You there. That's all we do. On assign entity, we don't set your position, apparently. Okay, that's okay. Let's go back into our customer manager then, and let's go from there. Where's our customer manager at? Customer manager. Oh, manager. M-A-N-A. Manager. Customer manager. There we go. And to check your posture before I go. You know, one of these times you're gonna have to use her name. I don't mind checking posture too. That's handy. And Doris Blue is funny because in its English teachers trying to teach color language, bring an artist to teach it. Hey, no English teacher making that fun. Psh, they might. I'm biased. And database, don't like it. What we'll do here is after that, after this, we'll then do customer dot the global position, or hold on, new customer dot global position equal to, and then we'll do wait spot dot global position, like that there. And I'm wondering, I feel like we do at some point set the position, but I'm just questioning where, and I don't know. Wait spot dot position. There we are. Set profile. You there. Set profile. New customer set profile. We should set the position somewhere along here. Position equals new position. I see. Maybe that's it. We need to set this to global position. In our new position, it's a vector 2. So let's see. I'll set you to global position. Global position, new position. And this new position will also make sure in our customer manager is our global position. So let's start there. Global position. And we'll also remove that global position up here. Let's see if that works. And I do that. And isn't there a sort of Eldritch Princess talking about the ideas associated with each color? I am. However, the thing is, right? I like color theory, but I went to school for programming. I didn't go to it for art. So even if we did tackle art, I wouldn't be interested either. I wanted to get into the programming meat and potatoes of it. That was my number one. Number one programming, number 2 art. But if we focused on art mostly, I want to get into programming. That was the whole goal. At the very least, now that we've done a little bit of art, I'm a little bit more interested. Let's see, spawn in a customer again. And what do we get? Lovely, look at that. They're spawning the way we want them to. Good. Okay, from there, let's have the customer move. So move, oh, never mind. We just have to take their order. So go ahead, customer, your order has been taken. Lovely. Okay, good to go. Now you should go into the center. You can see here, it does not go into the center. I think it might be due to how like the ghost behaves as well. So let's now see if we can get the customer to where they should be. We'll see. So I'll go ahead, close that out, save it as well. And honestly, I find it pretty wild that they were teaching you English literature in your programming college. It might defeat the whole purpose of teaching story and writing for games by slash a person's style. I don't know about them. I got a job working as a solution architect. I just hear the word architect and that's a little scary. Let's see here. Pat. All right, so we did figure out the initial one with the position. Lastly, it is going to be our customer. So in our customer, this guy right here, on our move state, this guy here, if entity in target position, all of you guys here, if entity is customer, yup, if you there, change customer to sit state. What will have happen is, instead, we're going to say, and we're going to do you here, and then we'll say, yeah, we'll just put you in here instead. How about that? You go in here. There you go, like that there. There you go. Try that instead. We'll also have you do that there and that there. There you go. Okay, let's have that give a go. So, you there. And I heard the word AWS and I got flashbacks. Oh boy, let's see here. You here. Spawn in a customer. Spawn customer. And then we'll not move the customer. We don't need to. You just need to mosey on your way down. I definitely think the snapping is no longer a thing, which is nice. And, are you okay? Are you all right? Do you need help, huh? Why are you facing backwards? Okay, well, ads are about to run, so we'll deal with this. The good news is the customer now is going to the center, which is what we wanted. So progress a little bit forward, maybe a little bit back. So good, cool. So this guy here, we'll go ahead and have the ad breaks run, and then we'll do a bit of stretching here and there, get a little bit of hydration going, and then we'll see where we're going. So if entity is customer, then we'll go ahead and say that. I also think that's easier to read. That is what's going on. All right, water, and then a little bit of stretching. Lovely. Water's a-okay. Okay, stretch time. Let's see. Let's go a little bit to the right. And then let's go a little bit to the left. And then let's go a little bit backwards. Don't break anything. If you do, I'm not held liable, so go slowly. And then go a little forwards. Okie dokie. From there, let's do the next exercise. Blah, blah, blah. Neck exercises. There we are. You want to go to the left a little bit. And then you want to go to the right a little bit. And that customer can't look directly at the food, crippling fear of it, but still gets hungry. They can smell it. It's no use. It's over for them. Let's go to the front a little bit. Now let's go back a little bit. Lovely, lovely. Okay, and you can also turn and go down. That is a guy too. And then you can also turn and go down. Those are some stretches that you can also do some twists. That works too, but I think the best stretches at least are getting up and actually doing stretches like your hands to toes. So if you can get up, I would recommend those instead. That would get a little bit more blood circulation, and then doing some like hamstring exercises. That works too. Those are pretty handy because they're simple enough and sweet enough that you don't have to put enough work into them. Like every hour, you get like 5 to 10ish minutes aside, something like that. What about neck rolls? I'm not a fan of neck rolls. I feel like I hear something break every time I go through part way. Like, all right around here, my neck does not like it going that way. So I tend to avoid those since neck rolls, but if neck rolls are good for you, I would recommend them. Whatever feels nice and feels relaxing, as long as it's not painful, that's what you're going for. The breaking means you're doing it right. Oh boy, it reminds me of people trying to do splits. And so to do splits, they decide, you know what? I'm not going to ease myself into it. I am going to purposely break my legs in order to do splits, the best part. No pain, no gain. I know, that's not at all. And hi, Code Param. Welcome back in the stream. Welcome in. Oh, how awful, I say, how awful. Let me get some more water here. Let's see. Wonderful, water is collected. With all of that said and done, let's save here. My chiropractor also doesn't like neck rolls, neck stretches, just going in a single direction, holding it and then back. Yes. That is what I've been told as well. Yeah, it's a thing of, for example, here, I've been told just hold it for a minute. Just hold it here. You don't have to do a lot. Or you go hold, a lot of holding is usually better because neck rolls, I don't know, it feels so uneven. It feels so awkward. And it's weird. But yeah, I do agree. And oh, welcome back from the ad breaks. Welcome. You've missed nothing except possible neck breaking. But the thing is, we don't do neck breaking around here, so neck breaking did not happen. With that said, though, let's get back into things, shall we? Where we last left off, we were trying to figure out why the customer was turning away from their food, turning their nose up for some reason. And I was wondering, is it because of here? Utility.change customer to sit state.emit entity. You there. The thing is, what happens here when we do change customer to sit state? How it works in my game is that we have these customers here. So if I go to a Necromancer, for example, Necromancer, they're different than a ghost. The ghost has 2 states, the idle state and move state. But if you notice, the customer has a lot more actions that they do. If I go into our scene here, our little Necromancer here, for example, this guy here, this Necromancer is composed of, oh, you can't see it. They have, and actually I can show you here. If I click on here, I open in folder terminal, show in file manager. I think that should work. I should be able to just kind of double click that guy there. And then if I bring you quickly, just to show off what I mean, into, let's see here. Hold on, there we are. If I bring you into draw here, I can show you. And a Necromancer? I thought this was a cafe game. Oh, that's a terrible pun, but so silly. Let me hide this guy here, and also apparently concepts too. Lovely. Okay, so you can see our customers have a lot of different animations, and they have not only a walking animation, they also have a browse menu animation, they also have a waiting waiter animation, they also have a consuming dish animation, they also have a ready to pay animation, and they also have an idle animation. And the thing is, we have to make a distinction between what modes, because these are animations, but they aren't, game states. So when our customer is sitting, all of these animations can play, all of these guys. When they're moving, all of these animations play. But compared to our ghost, they only have move and idle. That's the difference between the two. And let me see if I can find the ghost's guy as well. Let's see, ghost, and then we go to assets, and then we go to ghost sprite. Lovely, this guy here. You can see it's a lot different. We have moving, so walking, and we also have idle. That's all the ghost has. And here's, I have questions, sure. And if you use the ability to use your left hand, you did the neck rolls perfectly. I will give you 2 thumbs up, but I'm really good at neck rolls. I can give oh no. I have heard it. Make sure you're careful when you stretch your neck, because it's connected to your spine, and your spine controls a lot of motor functions, so be careful. And are you thirsty? No, I'm not, but I'm already reaching for the water. And not gonna lie, multiple times I misheard the Necromancer part and thought you said Necromancer. Cat Cafe doesn't sound too bad. And I see.
Cat sat on keyboard just reading Street.
All right, we'll do more Street then. Let's go to the left a little bit. And then we'll go to the right a little bit. We'll go back a little bit. And then front a little bit. It could be fun to have a wizard type that is a Necromancer. That'd be quite silly. So, since our ghost only has 2 states, right? Only they have idle and they have walking. That is all they have. And you can ignore the follows. And
Cat sat on keyboard just redeemed hydrate.
Oh, the fake out. All right, hydration is also good to go. Thank you for the redeem. Compared to our customer, which has these animations that play when you're sitting, we need to have a way to have them play, and I have to keep you guessing. Oh boy, yeah, what is it? It plays to the part of cat, just destruction. All you know is destruction, I say. An agent of chaos, it truly feels like it. So, since this is the case with our guy here, we want to make them change to the sit state. That's number 1, right? And if we go to our target, and we go to, let's see, target here, currently at the moment, we have this guy here, we have on the areas, all of those guys here, we have on target reached, and then we have entity has reached target. That is currently, I believe, only for ghost. So we might have to translate the system a little bit into the customers to make it make sense a little bit more. So what I'm thinking is, we can do Control-Shift-F and find. And where do we do these at? We only have it connect on our ghost state machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this guy here and connect, and then we're going to have our customer go on reach target. So something like here with our customer. Oh, actually our state manager. That would be customer state manager. Yep. And then we have move customer to target, change customer to sit state. Indeed. So entity has reached target. That's not what we're going to go for instead. Yeah, change customer to sit state. We have change customer to sit state. So instead, what I'm thinking is we are going to have them change their states, get parents, all of those guys. That seems good to go. We also need to change them to idle state too. So change state, state.type, idle. Yes, indeedy. And then get parent, update status, browsing menu. Okay. So what I'm thinking is something here. We can close the ghost for a bit since we won't need them at the very moment. We're messing around with the customer, seeing if we can bring their... Did someone say chaos? Chaos. Let's see. I can do anything. Let's go into we'll close the path follower for now. We'll also close the Necromancer sprite. And in our target, so once they reach the center of the target, they emit this guy here. We say, hey, we've reached the target. And once they reach the target, that's when we want the customer to activate. So on our customer, we do here, you do here. So on activation of customer reach target, we need something to happen here. And we also need to keep in mind, because I think it's at the bottom, where do we do on reach target? If we go back up here, customer, I don't believe we're doing it in customer, possibly. So I think we're okay. We need to look at customer manager. Customer profile, I also don't think needs to be a thing at the moment. We're just looking for our customer manager, customer state manager. When we change the customer to sit state, so back on our not ghost manager, we can close that as well, interactable select screen. I don't even know how you got there. We can also close player here, move state. We're only doing this guy here. If entity, you and you, we don't need this, or we at least shouldn't need this. Let's see. If you reach the target equal to true. So I'm going to actually remove this. This is where this function was at, but I'm going to remove it because we won't need it anymore. So once the customer has reached their target, it'll set this to true. And when it's set to true, then the target's going to take it and it's going to say, all right, I know it's reached the target. Now that I know I'm in the target, then I'm going to say, all right, we're true. Oh, hold on, where's the target at? Here. Once we've reached the target, then we're going to emit this. So following that line along, following the breadcrumbs, then we go to our customer state manager here. And instead of doing this guy, change customer to sit state, we're now going to have entity has reached target instead. And on this guy here, we can do a few things now because change customer to sit state's a little bit different than entity has reached target. That's the only thing I'm thinking of is going to be a little bit different because it's whenever the target is reached. So let's see here. If entity is customer, all of those things. If reached target, entity has reached target, you just have this here. So we'll go ahead and copy you here. Actually, we can just do the ghost. I believe it should work. Ghost manager here, and then on entity reached target. Let's see, on reached target, we should have something there. Where are we at? You there, spawner, you there? Where on reach target do we have? Is it under ghost here? Ghost state manager, possibly. Never mind, let's bring back the ghost. It's in state manager. So on entity has reached target, on reach target, we do this here, that there. And then we can go to, let's see, back to our customer manager. So back to our customer, back to our state manager here, and on reach target. So we can go ahead, that's not a thing. So let's scroll back down to here where we were, and now make that a function. So now that should be good to go. So target, entity, all of you guys good to go. So if entity is equals, and then we can say our customer. So we should have a customer we reference, or yep, good. So if entity, if not entity equals customer, we're good. And then we can say if customer dot status, something along the lines of that, then we can go ahead and have the customer sit. So what we can say is on reach target, if customer dot current status equals customer dot status dot, and we want to set the customer status to, or we're checking to see the status, it needs to be walking. If we go to our customer navigation, animation tree, you can see we have, it goes from idle to walking and walking to other things too. So we want it to go from walking to browsing a menu. And then, hi, Todd, the animation did the animation thingy, but welcome in, and thank you for the follow. welcome. So let's see here. Yeah, once we're in walking, and once we're done browsing menu, then it would be awaiting. But the thing is, depending on certain circumstances, it can come back to walking. So that's where it can get a little bit tricky at. For example, why it goes back to walking is because the customer has a timer. And if the customer does not get its order served and it loses patience, the customer walks away. And where's my animation? I don't know, I couldn't tell you. It worked yesterday, but today it says, nah, I don't want an animation. It would be fun to add like a redeem animation. That could be fun. I didn't get it, but probably because I'm late. Your actions have consequences. Let's see here. So if customer current state equals walking, and yeah, if customer current state equals walking, then we'll go ahead and see about possibly doing idle. No, we don't want to idle. We want to change it to sit state. Yeah, so if we were walking and on reaching the target, let's see. And, okay, on reach target. I just want to make sure, and well, hello, gorgeous. Well, thank you. Welcome in. Hi. Let's see here. If customer dot current state, and you seem so focused, I'll not interrupt anymore. I am focused most certainly, but I also do appreciate you taking time out of your day to send a message. So I have to, it's a what is it? Not 50-50, but I appreciate it. I show my appreciation through responding, reacting. So I hope you do enjoy. I am focused indeed. We are trying to see if we can link up this function. And the issue I'm worried about is that if customer current status or current status equals walking, oh, actually, you know what? On reach target. If, and do we change the current status of the customer? That's the thing. If customer dot current status equals customer dot leaving, let's see, status dot leaving, or hold on, status dot, and let's see, consuming dish, ready to pay, exiting, or exiting satisfied will also return. So exiting or exiting satisfied. And I'm also realizing as well, we can do a bit of a match case here. The code is not enough, and please interrupt. We enjoy the chaos. No, I say no, chaos, terrible. Let's do a match case. So we can do match, and then we can do customer.current status. And current status, S-T-A-T-U-S, current status. And then from there, what we can have happen is we can do something a little bit like this. And you can do a comma, and then we can also say status exiting, and do another little bit of a comma here. And then we'll do return. And then you can have happen is, we can then say our customer status, if it equals walking, then we do a little something something here. So we can then go ahead and just remove these guys, because that's no longer needed. And something like that, that's better. If it's exiting or, exiting, let's see, exiting satisfied, don't do anything on target reached. Otherwise, if you've reached the target and you were walking, then we're going to change it to the sit state. You can see utility.change the sit state. Where are we using this guy at? Let's see. And the code is not enough. The code is well enough. I tell you, I say. Let's see, you here. So change customer to sit state. Where do we use this function at? It doesn't seem to be a thing anymore, which is a-okay. So what will have happen then is, change the sit state. Did I modify something here I shouldn't have? Oh no, her code is so organized and perfect when compared to mine. It just takes a lot of practice, and thank you too for the compliment. It's a lot of just checking things and rechecking things. I need to check the customer manager again for our sit state, because I deleted something I shouldn't have. So our sit state here, sit state customer manager, is this, no, it's customer state manager. What did I delete? What have I changed that I shouldn't have changed? Change customer to sit state. Oh, I see. If customer, all of you guys. So this was the code I deleted, I shouldn't have. So back here, if it is the case that it is you, oh, never mind, it's right here. And where are the emotional support errors? They will come in due time, I assure you. Oh boy. Change to sit state if customer is going, change the sit state if moving to if reached. Okay, how can we roll this? And here's code as features pixel are close to perfection. Not even sweeter. Oh boy. Oh, I'm telling you, you're also sweet. So let's see. If reached seat, change to sit state. Something like that. And then what we can have happen is, and I find that coding is a lot like art in one way. Looking at it makes it look nice, but the longer you perceive your own creations, the more it'll find a way to demand more from you. It definitely is a case of just, the more you look at it, the more flaws you find, and the more you want to modify and critique it. And it's a Sisyphean task of perfection. That's a lot easier to do by just making more things. You can never have enough. Let's see here. Customer status exiting and exiting satisfied. We also have customer walking. So if the customer is walking, what we're going to do is change the state, and then we're going to update the status to browsing menu. And I believe this should possibly fix our customer code. Let's see if it does. So we'll click on play here and see, give it a good old whirl. See how she runs. Click on you there, click on you there. You should get a good guy there. And then on levels, we click on you here. So spawn in a customer. Let's see, spawn in customer. Hello, customer, very valued customer. Let's go ahead and have you move. Also, something to note as well, the customer used to snap when they moved, not as much anymore, which is good. They still snap a little bit, which is unfortunate. And also something to note as well is that this guy here, they've reached their target, but they aren't seated, I don't believe. So, somewhat working, somewhat not. On reach target, and we do have on reach target for you here. We should. Entity has reached target, on reach target. Yes, indeedy. Let's see if this does happen. And something else we'll add too is on our customer, we should have text. I thought we had text. Apparently not. That's okay. We'll do an add. Let's see. We'll add in a label, so a rich text label, and we'll add in two of you. So this is our state label, and we'll also do status label, like that. And we'll then have a and we'll also have a and then we'll make you, actually, we'll delete you for now. That way I can duplicate it, make it easier. And then we'll just make you wider. Actually, I should just be able to do your theme, UI theme, and that should take care of that theme. So I can just drag and drop that. That'll give us the regular one. And then I should be able to just drag you to where we need you to be. I also need you to be smaller, so maybe I can change your scale a little bit. Will you allow me to? Text display, text size. I want to change your scale. Do you allow me to? I don't believe you do. Oh, scale, lovely. Turn your scale down a little bit. I also want to center the text a smidge, and my code is like, Eris, fun and chill, gets the job done. Yeah. And Jackson potluck. What does that even mean? We'll make sure that the center is centered like that and that. And then we'll go ahead and move it up here. So this should appear above the customer's head. And we have state label, and we also have status label. So status, S-T-A-T-U-S, status label, like that. And we'll go ahead and name this as status. And we'll go ahead and name you as state. So state here. And we should just be able to do that there. And from there, what will have happen is I can right-click this, go to access this unique name already used, status label. So, apparently, past me already did the thing I'm just about to do. So I don't have to do it. I didn't see it. Well then, there we are. Good to go. Lovely. We already have the, Well then, all right. Well, where are we? And testing it. Oh, that's good. It's always nice when you can just have old code you don't have to redo. I thought I deleted it, but nope, we're good. And thank you, past ears. Oh boy. Let's see. Oh, hold on. On reach target, if entity. Why are you angry? What are we angry for? If reach set state. If not entity equals customer. Yeah, okay. If customer equals null, we'll also do that. If customer equals null, then you can do also return. There you are. Lovely. Okay. Now let's click on play. That is a lovely sight. I could say that was certainly, man. I mean, just did like 10 years of work right there. Nice. Nice indeedy. And it says the sub goal was completed, but I don't see the sub. Will it pop up? I'm surprised. I just don't see a name to thank. I'm not sure. We'll see. Let's see. Spawn in a customer here. Spawn in customer. Good to go. And it is a little bit hard to tell with everything else. We can see their state is idle, their status is in queue. When we move the customer, they're now move and they're now walking. And when the customer gets here, their status should be updated. That's what we're not seeing at the moment. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why? Pourquoi? For why? Let's see. Move there. So let's see here. On reach target. Do we ever reach target? Let's see. Also, you know what I can do as well? We didn't have it implemented for the ghost, but we do have it implemented for the customer. And despite this, past Eris is still my third favorite. Eris, she's behind future Eris and present. Oh, sweet. Oh boy. Prototype, was it? I think it was prototype level. No, it was sandbox. I remember it's a thing of just, future me problems or something else. If we click on this, speedy customers, now customers should move fast. We should be able to get our results quicker. That's the thing of, you're either your own worst enemy or your own best friend. You decide. Let's see. And customer. All right, customer. If customer equals null, pass on that one there. We don't need you to there. Yep. Great. And now we can go ahead and just grab you here. So now, customer is walking. Now, it could be the case that because the customer has movement speed now beyond our comprehensions, now that the customer is moving so fast, there's two of them again, it's not able to register the customer as being in the space. So, you learned something. They're broken, just a little bit broken, just a little bit. They've reached flash levels, which is not expected. Interesting to say. Two of them again. I just find that so silly. The fact that you can get, if something's moving too fast, you get multiples of them. To the naked eye. I am fast. Let's see. And Eris, give me access to the code base so I can delete everything and start fresh. Never, I say, over my dead body. Let's see here. If we do back to our move state, since we are in move state, I want to check here. If you and you in range, then entity reach target equals true. And if we are in our target, so speedy. Hi, just Cody. Welcome back to stream. Welcome in. Indeed, fast. Let's see. I am curious about why. Maybe it's to do with our target. If we do this guy here, and we do if not entity in the area, let's try to do this and see if we can go down the road. And over my dead, fast forward to the image of cat lounging on a deleted code base. Dead. Let's go ahead and spawn the ghost or customer in. Customer has been spawned in. If customer reaches target, then current entity reaches target equals false. Sure. That's okay. Good to go. We'll just go ahead and go through. Breakpoint. I want to go past the breakpoint. I don't want you. Go away. If customer has reached a target, then yeah, but you haven't reached the target is the thing. Interesting. If we enter idle state, then reach target shouldn't be a thing, I believe. So something's off here. Do you have a GDD by chance? I do indeed. I do indeed. Now I can't say it's the cleanest. It works. It needs to be cleaned up more, and it shall be, but I do. You can see here, I have, for example, in the project, guys, I have a bit working on the cafe. I tried my best to work on, all right, entities. What's an entities? You have the customer, you have the player. However, it's a work in progress. I'm trying to see what organization I like best. You can see there's trash and plate, and if you click on them, it brings you to what they are, and then you can click on these interactables. What's an interactable? What's an item? So eventually we'll get there with the flavor combo. What's a product? What's a cocoa? The hope is that eventually we'll get a lot of cool things. We'll see. And if it is clean, it is not a proper GDD. I can certainly say it's somewhat clean. It's moderately clean. Let's go back into programming here. So let's see here. If we do this guy here, so if current entity reached, going back to the idle manager here, idle, IDLE, idle manager, not idle manager, idle status. We go back to our customer, idle state, yes, reach target, turn that to false. You only reach your target if I say reach your target. And I'm not saying it, so don't do it. Try that now. Let's see. If I click on you here, we go to you here, go to you here, go to you here. And hi, Roxred. Welcome back. Or was it Roxreed? Welcome back into stream, and please feel free to clarify for me. And do you watch anime? If so, do you have one you really like? Oh, that's always so hard. That's painful. You can't make me pick one. I'd have to think about it. That is very hard. Super duper hard. And were you holding a fish hostage? No one's being held hostage. They're just being... I don't even know. Who are we even talking about being held hostage? Hold on. Do you mean this? That's not a fish. And I asked because GDDs should help create the basic data structure required by the game. And after that, you add some bugs and voila, you have an indie game. Basic structure is important. And as a start, you can mention the ones you have on your debut. I don't remember. That's the thing. I don't even remember. It's been a second since I've watched anime. So when I was writing all of the animes down, I had to go back to my anime watching history to see which ones I remember. I'm being held hostage. Not true. Don't believe the lies. We'll go ahead and have our customer move and walk. And it seems to be the case that they aren't... Well, hold on. Vacant occupied has entered, but they're not being counted as. What is it? I thought it was a fish. Oh, hi. Well, I already know that. Good. Kicks in door. I'm here to requeue. A fish. Hi, Torin. Welcome back into stream. And hey, it's an octopus. I'll have you know. And Eris forgot me and left me locked in the elevator. Not true. And how very Eris of you to have a grind sit so hard on your own. It's been ages, I tell you. Let's see here. Exit, update, physics update. For some reason, it's not going to, if we go to our target here, this guy. This is what I want to happen. If not entity in area, let's check it for when it is here. Does it do this? I'm making fun of you, but I relate entirely. And were you holding the octo hostage? He's here on his own free will. Thank you very much. He enjoys it. And didn't go properly with all these interruptions. Please interrupt more. Even showing their true face. Not at all, I say. Not at all. We'll go ahead and spawn our customer in and have this guy right. So if current entity reached target, the current entity should not have reached the target though. So where are we doing reach target equals true? That's what I want to find out. Where are we doing true at? In our move state, if we have that there.
Cat
and hydrate,
sat on keyboard, just redeemed hydrate.
Water time. Lovely. Let's see here. And what do you like to draw? All sorts of things. My favorite thing is drawing plants and animals, but I'm not good at it. But eventually I will be. But I did have a lot of fun drawing clouds yesterday. Bobby's the one thing holding Eris hostage real. He's the only thing standing between her and chaotic eviler. Is pure paladin, like goodness. Indeed! A paladin. Well, hold on. I don't know if I told you paladin. Like, let's see. So entity reach target equals true after physics update. And raid by Pixel. Ooh, how do you say that? Pixel Tanuki, possibly. Welcome into stream. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. I am currently hi. Oh, hold on before I forget as well. Let me go ahead and do slash shout out. And then we'll do @ and then we'll do Pixel, and then we'll do Tanuki. There you go. That sounds better. Tanuki. And change my name. Oh, I see. Well, welcome back. That name does certainly ring a bell. And welcome into Raiders. And again, thank you for the raid. So to summarize what we've been doing and what we're currently up to, I'm currently making a rhythm typing cafe game. It's gonna be a little bit bugged since he caused at a bit of an ill-opportune time. The idea behind my game is that you serve customers by creating dishes, and you create dishes by typing to the beat. And it takes place in a magical wizard academy. So if I click on this guy here, click on that guy here, you should be able to hear the game. And if I go into levels here, we go into, we'll go into, I'm just not sure if the customer's going to even work. So we'll go here. What should happen is that a customer is spawned, and let's see here, close that guy. Yep, a customer will spawn, and the customer looks in their game and, oh, hold on, let me just do that there. Yep, okay, continue game. Right, customer spawns, and you have to seat the customer. It's one of the best websites I've ever seen in my entire life in terms of resources. Thank you, thank you. And I just did a showcase. You have a demo? I don't have a demo, I have a prototype. It's a little bit different than this one, I still don't have quite a clue what I'm doing, and a lot of the game's not finished yet, but if you'd like to take a check at the prototype, Necrotype, there you go. And thank you for asking, by the way. There you go. So the customer's here, and the customer then gets seated, so we have the customer seated. The issue is, as I said, he caught us at an inopportune time. So, you know what? Just imagine for a second that instead of a customer you're serving, instead you're serving a ghost, as these guys do exist in the game. And the hope is that as you go along in this game, you have to combine different foods together to serve them. In this case, each wizard is represented by a different flavor. In my case, I'm a necromancer, so my flavor is bitter. This ghost here, his flavor is memory. And the hope is that as you go along in the game, you'll get more and more. So if I go up here into the shelf, you'll see we have different flavors, bitter, sweet, memory. And as you go along, the hope is that each flavor, each type is represented by a different genre of music. So whether the music be fast and slow, whether it use different instruments, the hope is that we'll get a whole melting pot. And it's cool to be able to do your own art. I agree, quite fun. And once you get good enough, yeah, it's quite fun. And what you do is you grab these objects off the shelf here and you place them down. So I'll just go ahead and move this guy here, move that guy there. There we are. So we're going to make a bitter memory cake and serve it to the ghost. So go ahead, hold down Q. That was the cafe portion. This is the rhythm typing portion. So let's see. L-O-N-G space T-I-M-E space T-H-E space M-A-N-X O-M-E space F-O-E space H-E. Right. Space S-O-U-G-H T comma space S-O space R-E-S-T-E-D. Done! That's the rhythm typing part in a nutshell. And once you have created your food, you're able to pick it up and serve it to either the customer or the ghost. The customer is having a moment, so we'll let them have their moment for now, and we'll just serve it to the ghost. Here you go. And the ghost is gone. That is it in a nutshell. And we were trying to figure out why the customers like this. What happened to them to make them decide to split into two? And the final level is through fire and flames. Through the fire and flames. I feel like I've heard that before. And let me go ahead and close this guy here and set the music back on to play. And I'm so bad at timing games, I might end up summoning Cthulhu. The hope is that I want to make the game easier and easier until someone's able to send me in them getting a perfect, or I'm able to get a perfect of a song. So the game will progressively get easier in difficulty because I don't want the game to be hard. I want it to be fun. I want it to be this chance of it's not granny easy, but it's also not you have to be a good computer typist to be in order to play this game. I'm going for medium difficulty, and touch typing people will obliterate the part. Oh, let's see. I think jump into the song might throw people off. Maybe after it starts, it could take a second or two before the beats appear. The beats do appear after a second, I believe. And yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me just double check. I believe the beats should appear, or you get a little bit of a do. So let's see. Move here, hold down Q. You should hear it. Let's see. Oh, hold on. If I hold down Q, let's see. Yeah, you hear it? That's your cue. Do. Maybe it's not long enough, but that is that is your prep to do it. So there's maybe not long. It looks very sudden to me, maybe, but something, no worries at all. The thing is, it's a lot of just tweaking around. I definitely want it to get easier, so maybe giving the player more chance to prepare before you get into it is also a good idea. And I'm all for a good idea, sus. Yeah, a lot of tweaking. And thank you, Not Just an Apple, for the follow. Welcome into stream. Welcome to Bugs. And let's see here. It's got guitar so fast, it's funny to even listen to how the terrifyingly fast it is. Oh, let's see. The country for twitching is Sugar Rush. And there was a harder one here. Oh, yes, indeed. It was very hard. It's still hard, but it's easier than it was before. And I do really like that art too. Well, thank you. And I have a good idea. Let me know if you want to hear it. Let's see if we can figure out the customer. The issue is we got like 30 minutes left. I want to see if we can get their state machine done. If we can fix it. because Ghost is good to go. Ghost is functioning. Customer, not so much. For some reason, our target is not doing what it should do. When the customer enters the target, she makes every chat sound evil. I'm just saying you all tend to be chaotic, and I'm just here to make sure, you know. So no, not at the moment. You can send it if you want to walk in Discord, and I can look at it a little bit later. But again, I'm all open for ideas if you've got them. It's just not at the moment I can process the ideas. And did I miss anything else? Let me just double check here. Touch type, sudden jump, yup. Final level, yup. Okay, I don't think I missed anything. I have a good idea. Evil voice, let me know if you want to hear it. Let's see here. My idea is that you give me access to the code base. Not happening, I say. So let's see here. If entity reached target, that's what we want. This guy isn't working in the way we expect it to. If we go back to our move state here, we have it go reach target equals true, and then target position equals global position, and then we return. For some reason, on our customer, when we do the target, when we do all of these guys here, it doesn't quite do it. So I'm wondering, and I'm going to print this as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll have this print out our bool. So we'll have it print out, and that's not how you do print out. And hello, Charblack. Welcome to stream, and thank you for the follow. Welcome into orderliness. And why are you booing me? You know I'm right. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. All I'm saying is I want to do my best to do. Well, yeah, I'm not saying I'm wrong or right. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. We'll go ahead and have this print, and we'll have it print out. Let's see. Reach target. Yes. Current entity dot reach target. Current entity dot reach target. We should see maybe a little bit more feedback going on now and see how that fares. Go ahead and meet this guy here. Have it spawn. We'll go ahead and spawn in a customer. So spawn in a customer. They have not reached their target, which is what we want. We want it to not reach the target. And also, if I click on play here, does it start off as true? We have false. Good. It should be false. We only want it to activate when we're in the target afterwards. I need to work out. I have been sitting all day besides when I was in church. Definitely working out, getting some stretches in. I've definitely been trying to, well, I've been into swimming more recently. So I've been swimming here and there. It's been a lot of fun. Working out has certainly, I think, helped clear the mind as well. So we'll go ahead and have this here and then have them go. So for a moment, I think it said true. You can see if we go down here, up here, I think it said true for a second. Yes, no, never mind. It has false. It's just false all over again for some reason. Stretch. Yeah, stretching is important. Oh, I see.
Just
that's
underscore
the my
colon underscore just reading
Alrighty then. And I'm so good at swimming that I just sink. Oh boy. And yeah, it just takes practice. Let's go to the left a little bit. And then let's go to the right a little bit. And let's go down a little bit. And let's go back a little bit. And oh, did the stream end? Nope, not at all. We're still streaming. We'll go down, right and down. Hold it. Stretch. And then to the left a little bit and down a little bit. Alrighty. Next stretches. Thank you for that redeem. And I turned that as well. Lovely. Nope. The game, we're still going good to go. And hi, by the way, Seagoat Games. Welcome into stream as well. Welcome in. So let's see here. Currently at the moment, customers doing double time. You're not who I was watching. Oh, hi. Yeah, you're part of the raid. Hello. Let's see here. Yeah, that right there. This right here. Something's going wrong. The issue is at the moment the customer isn't, or the target isn't picking it up. And thank you for the follow. Welcome back in. I know I'm not who you expected to come back to, but I hope I can. I hope I can help. And I stretched and my neck still sounds like a cement mix. Oh, you need maybe more or something. Let's see here. Entity in area. So for some reason, this guy is saying reach target is false. However, if we go to our move state here, we should see here reach target equals true. So I'll go ahead and I click this guy, click that guy, click on play. What do we get? What are you going to say, game? And welcome. You were sent to this chaotic evil. Not true at all. Lawful good. That is me. Thank you. Spawn in a customer here. You there. All right. Customer, you go to where you are supposed to be. And you can see, yeah, it doesn't, maybe it has to do with the range possibly. Was watching a Tanuki Game GM stream. Yeah, that is who rated. Let me just double check. Yeah. Pixel. Oh, wait. It was a different name. There was a name change recently. I forget the name change, but that's the new name. I do remember that part. Let's see here. Y equals 1. We'll see. Maybe we can update this guy here. And Lawful Good doesn't read every message. Is his lawful evil voice. I'll say being able to be flexible is what it's all about. Let's see. I'll have here a var and range, and then we'll go ahead and have this as a float. and then we'll equal it to, let's see. We'll do 5, just to see. And then we'll have u equal float. That way we can do this and we won't have to change it everywhere else. So range, let's see, range there and range here. Okay, let's see what this gives us. Spawn things using commands? You can indeed. It is a plugin called, I don't remember the plugin, but if you're curious about the plugin, it is, let's see, scroll out and I just go over here to where the plugin should be at, somewhere here. Nope, hold on. Where are we at? I'm lost. And we have, nope, you here. Oh, here we are, plugin. It's called Developer Console, if you're interested in it. Does anyone ever remember his names? I eventually do. Yeah, Developer Console is that one there. And if you want Godot to look like what you see of mine, you can also get Script IDE. Those are probably the two I use most, along with Ace Right Wizard. That one's pretty handy too. Let me bring you back into you here. And I'm less impressed. Half the battle is finding the answer. You don't have to always reinvent the wheel. And var range 0.0. And why are you angry? Let's see. You are angry because range has the same name as a built-in function. I see. Well then control F, control replace. So no, we'll say let's see. DETECT, detect range, like that. You have a redeem for that? Let's see here. Copy you, paste you here, and then we'll also slide over here and do paste you here and paste you here. And hi, is it Faro? Finna? Welcome into stream. Welcome in. Hi. Let's see here. Save that there. Does this help if we change it to 5 instead? For the range? I'm curious to see. If that doesn't, then it's going to be something else possibly that we need to fix. And it also could be the case that the ASMR redeem, oh, I don't think there is one, and sometimes it's super impressive, but often goes underappreciated. It's one ability to discover. Yeah, that's half the battle of being a programmer. Googling. If you're a good Googler, then you'll make it in the world, because asking the right questions is what's super important. Reinventing the wheel has its advantages. You can adapt it to new terrains, for example. Fair point too. You know what's cool? I use that too. I do love Godot. It's the only engine I've ever used, but I enjoy it. All right, customer, you're here. Right, to go to your lane, and we have moving is still false for some odd reason. Yeah, it's not picking up when it goes into here, is my guess. Let's just also double check here. If you and you, pick on you. So if you and you, click on play here and CNC. You here, and I'm a Googler too. Spawn in customer here. Okay, customer, you go to your spot. Yeah, you can see. And I just want to double check, because maybe it could be the case that it has to do with the, what is it? Do a voice, oh, I see! ASMR, that sounds awful. Let's see here, I'm curious to see, it's checking for our entity target and our global position. That does make sense. My question then becomes, if we go to our test level, so our sandbox level, let's disable the speedy customers so that that's not a variable, doing the game as it is intended. And let's see, levels back here again. We'll spawn in the customer, so this customer will be spawned in, and we have them walk on over to their spot. And also, I just realized we need to see the collision shapes, so we'll click on here, click on play here. All right, customer, why are you deciding to dance around a little bit? You've got a little bit of a cha-cha slide here. Let's see here, spawn in our customer again. Okay, so now go to your spot. Let's see what we're working with. But this is a scam. She doesn't mistreat us in evil mood. I never mistreat you. That's an awful thing to do. I say horrible, even. Adios. And, oh, I see. Well, need to dip. Well, thanks for coming. Lazily excited. Thanks for chatting about as well. Adieu. I think it's either adios or adieu. It's French or it's Spanish. I'm seeing here, for some reason, the customer, and as well, if we look here, go to here, customer manager, go to our customers. Our customer position is, let's see here, you have a position of 257, 256, 257, and negative 208. My question, or I guess the answer and why it's not working at the moment is that it's not seeing it as in the center. Possibly, could be the case. Maybe. If we go to, let's see, 657, and then we go to our seat, this seat specifically is, what seat are you? You're a seat, who are you? I should be able to hover over and it should be able to tell me. This is seat, nope, doesn't want to tell me. If I go out of it, then does it tell me? No, doesn't want to tell me the target, that's okay. We go back into here. I'm wondering, their position's changing again, like before. And no mistreatment, huh? I do seem to remember getting separated from my beloved bananas one time. That wasn't mistreatment, that was called laying down the law. Let's see here. In range, I'm going to do 10 here instead. I just want to see if maybe this is the issue. So let's see here. If I click on you here and you here, spawn in you here, go to customer. We'll go ahead and have you sit here, and we have reach target. So it does seem to be the case. For some reason, that target range is super duper important. If we go to you there, spawn in you here, spawn in customer, hello, go to there, you go there. Aha! Did you notice it? The customer snaps into place. They are working again. It's called vengeance, you mean? Something associated with, guess what? Chaotic evil! Not at all, not at all. It's called setting down a rule, and if you break said rule, there are going to be consequences. That's all there is, you know. Follow the rules, don't get a, you know, it's not my treatment, I tell you. Not at all. I'm wondering why you, well, this is working now because of the range. So if we were to do the proto or sandbox mode again, and we go to this guy here, why don't you work? Let's see. Click you here, click you there. Click play again. Good night, Restful Rudy. I hope you have a lovely one. Thanks for stopping by and lurking for a bit here and there. We'll go ahead and spawn in our customer again. Customer spawned. We'll then have the customer. Oh, huh. Okay. Well then, it seems to be the case. Something is a little bit different. For our customer here, our customer range, our collision shape is this size, and I'm guessing that's what the shape is. If we lower the collision shape on the customer just a little bit, and then do you here, let's see, and only when she gets someone a 0. Zeros, you at least get a, well, I don't, participation awards are very important. Oh, hold on, false, you here, you there, okay. So that's working. Let's remove the, let's see here, you here, and then you here. And then speedy customers is off. I then want to see about doing, let's see here, you here. We know for certain the range is kind of a 1, or not a 1, but a, if we go back to our move state here, yeah. And we'll also do a detect range up here. And we'll move it up here just because it's nicer to do them up here. So let's see, var, I forget, do they go up here? They do, okay, lovely. So var, detect range, float. Yeah, we'll move it out of there. That way it can be easier too as well. And then we'll go back to maybe like a 7. Try that, 7.0. Okay, and then we'll click on play here. As the issue is, the more we allow the detect range, the more they're going to snap. So is it a thing of we're going to have to make them each individual, or how is that going to work? The customer moves in. Yeah, you can see the little snap, can't you? And I'm wondering about that snap. I don't like it. I don't quite like it. Maybe we can set the detect range to 3. See how well that does. Let's see here. The thing we can do is we can just increase the player's range. That can also work as well, because the player's range would determine if the customer is in the range. So we have the customer here. They're walking along. We don't want to snap. We want it a little bit nicer. Like that. That's good. I like that a lot. And when the player wants to interact with the customer, we just don't want the player to have to really get in close to them. For example, I think this is too close. I would say, if I had to guess, I would, well, yeah, I think we can raise the player's range just a little bit. So all we would have to do for that is just grab this guy and make it a little bit bigger. That way the player can detect the customer well, in a good enough distance. The question, I guess, would then be to ask is, if you're here and you're trying to have the customer, like, let's see, you're here and customer's here and you're back here, how do you determine which customer to go to? Because we want to also have the player know what they can and can't do or get close to it enough. So if I make this just a smidge smaller, so bigger than it was, just a little bit of a buff towards the, well, the radiation, the radius, that's one thing to do. As well, we need to lower down these guys because right now, the customer is awaiting their dish, yeah. And we want it about halfway. So what we'll do is, we should be able to go to our ghost here, not ghost, to our cafe. And I think we can now lower these guys down a little bit. So if I right-click this guy and I go ahead and close, let's see, close, where are we at? I should be able to collapse branch and then collapse branch and expand you again. You should all be closed. We're going to our book, or we should have some sort of book, maybe in managers possibly, ghost managers, customer target manager. And we should have 2 pages here. And then I should just be able to unlock this guy with, let's see, you there, and then just move them down a little bit. Oh, where are we at? Left page. I see. Hold on. Undo. And then let's go back to you here. All of you seats, I want you to all move. And why won't you move? If I click on, let's see, you here. Oh, unlock, ungroup selected notes. Yes, indeed. Okay. Hold on. Let's do ungroup selected nodes there. And now, can I move you? Uh-huh. Interesting. Well, never mind then. That's okay. Instead, then, what we'll have happen is I should just be able to select all of these guys. And, oh, wonderful. Move them down a little bit. So if we grab a snap grid, we should just be able to snap them down a smidge, possibly about here-ish. We'll see if that works. And then we'll also go to the right page and also snap those guys down. So we'll grab you there, and then grab you about, well, hold on, about there-ish, I believe. So let's see if that also helps. And we'll do project and do collision shapes. We'll turn that off too to get a feel for the game and see how well that goes. So I'll click on play here. And are our customers better? Do they not have that snap anymore? That's what we're hoping to find out. So if I click on you here, let's go ahead and spawn in a customer, and we get customer here. And from there, customer, you can go ahead and move. Customer moves. They don't have that snap anymore. That was a bug before. And when they find their spot, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And now that they're browsing their menu, they're going to think for a little bit. And then once they're done, they're going to order. So we have them waiting, their hands raising, and now they want their dish. This is the dish they want. I have a cheat that allows me to just click on the dish and get the dish, and then give it to the customer. That does look correct. It looks like it's going good to go, and that's so awesome. Thank you. I'm glad to think so. This is definitely over a year worth of project. Well, yeah, years worth of work, but it's my second ever game, so it's a lot of slow progress. So once they're done consuming the dish, they wipe their mouths, they're good to go, they leave. I like it. It's definitely a lot better than it was. And just for reference, so we're all on the same page where it was, let me show you what it's like currently. If I bring you back into our obsidian here.
Whitechapel just redeemed
Thank you for the follow, Glenn C. Thank you, and welcome into Dream. Welcome into hydration. Lovely. Okay, so to show you what was going on initially, if I open up Obsidian here, I should be able to go into the game. Never mind. Where are we at? Game. Necrotype Cafe. There we are. Okay. If I click on run game here, we shouldn't mute the audio, so I should be able to just mute the audio. So I just want to show. Yeah. There you are. Okay. If I do this, make this a little bit bigger. I don't think it'll matter on the size. We have our customer here. You should be able to see it now. When I move around, watch how the customer snaps. And that was a bug before. I didn't know how to fix it. And thank you as well. Is it you, Stance, possibly? Welcome into stream. And I can certainly try again if I got it incorrectly. But thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Let's see here. When I accept their order, look what happens. Snap. See the snap? Now, instead of that snap, and let's see if there's another snap too. Yeah. Oh, hold on. No, not another snap. But they're sitting here. And what that means that they really should be sitting here. They're a little off-centered. Now they're no longer off-centered, and now there's no longer a snap, which is really nice to see. That was something that was a bug, but wasn't an important bug to worry about. Now they work as intended, with snapping into where they should be. And glasses toggle.
Harmonix just redeemed glasses toggle.
Big ring buff. Hold on. Let me click on you here. Lovely. Okay. Well then, I suppose for the next 10 minutes, I shall no longer have the big brain buff. And we have glasses off. There you go. Thank you for that redeem. So let's see here. Now back in our levels. Now when we spawn customers, no more snapping. We spawn the customers. Customers can then move, and then they'll be seated, which is wonderful. That's exactly what we wanted. It feels less snappy, less jagged. So go ahead and save this guy here. Another thing we have to do is we have to clean up what we have, and then we'll need to take a look at the other entity in the game. And that's a cute model. Thank you. They are redeeming the customer, redeeming me. What specifically are you calling cute? Let's see here. I also need to do, let's see, what were we doing? We have, are you there? Yep, you're there. We needed to remove the debug. Yes, that's what it was. Our prints. We needed to remove the prints. So if we go into our target here, yep, no longer do we need that print. Good to go. Lovely. Okay. And I'll also save it, make sure we have the backup, good to go as well. And both is good, mutual nod. Bobby, obviously, Bobby is rather cute. He's supposed to be the charm of this routine here. And cough, all three. Well, thank you. Let's see here. We have a fixed customer bug. There we go, fixed that there too. And as well, before I forget, let me also add it on here on the Obsidian, because I've been trying my best to keep track of what bugs have been fixed, which ones will be fixed in the future. So that was a mini bug that we have fixed. If I go into, let's see here, you here, go into Obsidian here, and what will have happen is, well, the thing is as well is when you're updating your game, figuring out how to show that it's been updated, figuring out a good update log, I've gotten this template and we should be able to see it. Obsidian Extras Management. Where are we at? Changelog. There we are. I found a template I quite liked. Currently, we're on version 4.3. So anytime I'm adding a change, I do it here. And that way, when I go to previous versions, I can see each time it's been updated, as well as the overall change logs, and then specifically what each change log does as well. That's how I'm sorting that too. So if we go to this version 4.3, we have our introduction, we have our improvements, and we also have any bugs here. You can see spellcasting speaking now in anime game, audio typing, the release for overall quality change, that's what that guy is. So now what we can add is a bug fix into it. So let's see, known issues, we're looking for bug fixes. I can just copy this guy here, and then what I can do, just so I don't forget, since that is a good thing to remember, improvements, bug fixes, customers, no longer snap into place, and are offset by seats. There we are. Customers no longer snap into place and are offset by seats. That's that bug fix done. And we can add it there to save it for later too. So let's see here. Back in our programming guy. Let's see. So just one more check. I am so happy that's a thing now. I was wondering for so long how to fix it. And the idea that it was that, and we ended up coming back around to it. That's really nice to see. Let's see here. It's spawned in a customer. Now the customers they're just so fluid now. Look at them. They flow like the water. Flow so freely. It's so cute. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. And now they're in their specific spot. And just to demonstrate, I'm just going to do, let's see. I'm just going to do, I believe 11 would be the number. There we go. And they don't snap. They slide. They glide. Look at them. Look at them all. We do have to fix the debug animation. That is something at some point. But good news, no more snapping. So I'll take it. All right, we'll go ahead and close this guy here. Lastly, what I wanted to double check about was the, was its name? The Pathfinder, Path Follower. That is the little guy that shows up to show you that you can go to the next round in the tutorial. If I click on this guy, let's see if he's broken. He's probably broken. We'll see. We'll move around, have the customer find their spot, sit down, and then we'll check to see if the path follower is doing what they should be doing, or do they get confused now? We have browsing menu, awaiting dish. Open this, path follower. So, do you loop back around? Nope. He does once disappear, so he is broken indeed. That guy should immediately loop back to at the start and loop again. Now, are you stuck, little? You are. You are very stuck. Oh boy, you poor soul. So let's make sure we fix this guy. I think that's what we'll have time left to do. And then all of our entities will be fixed. He got a little stuck. Poor guy. Alrighty then. So in our path follower, let's go ahead and close most of these guys just so we have a clean slate to start off with. And we'll go for path follower here. This little guy, path follower. Lovely. Okay. And in our path follower, you have, I don't believe, you don't have a state. Interesting. Yeah. The path follower is an entity, but it doesn't have a move state, which is an interesting choice. Yeah, it's an entity. And we have here, oh, hold on. It doesn't even have a move state. Oh, I see. Got you. Okay, well, if target, all of you guys here, it might be worth it to do, well, you are an entity, so would be a consideration of you having a move state, but the path follower is so simple, I didn't think to add a move state. If we add more animations, then it might be important to do move state. The thing with the path follower is that it never stops. It goes over and over again. So what we'll do is we'll possibly just grab the code from our current guys here, our current ghost, for our move state, and we'll modify this a little bit. So what we'll say is possibly just grab this here, and this is, I don't like copying pasting, especially when it's code specifically, like all of these guys here, don't like it, but we'll keep it for now. I do have that to do, so we'll keep that in mind. So when it's the path is chosen, we have all of these guys here, and then we set the current path, next path. Here we do it after if target, all of you guys here. So if not target, so something we can do at the start at least is to if target equal null, then return. Oh, hold on, then return, like that. If target equal null, which means we can go ahead, grab all of these guys here, and then if I do shift tab, it slides it back over. And then these guys here need to be slid back over, so I can do tab. There you are. Now you're in line. Good. From there, once we set the navigation agent and all of those guys, we next need to see about if it's in range. So we have the var, x, y, all of those things. What we would have to grab is no longer entity.target.global position. These are going to be our targets since they are our targets. So I can just grab that guy here, grab that guy there. And then we have entity.target, all of you guys there. And hi, Alice Midi. Possibly, I can certainly try again, but welcome into stream. And thank you for the follow as well. Hi. let's see. So entity.target, so we'll move that there, target. We're just looking at the target. And another thing we're looking at is our range. So our global position. So we don't even need to do entity.global position. We're checking ourself. That there. There you are. So that should be good to go. So detect range is not in there. So we can go ahead and also just grab this guy here. If this does work, I will certainly clean up. I just want to make sure it works. That's step 1 at the moment. So spawn location, initial distance. So now we have detect range. If these are both true, then we can go ahead and say reach target is true. And then we can go ahead and say global position, our global position equals that other global position. And ads, I see. And you're probably the most energetic game dev streamer I've ever seen in the category. Well, thank you. And it's Eustace. Welcome in the stream. Welcome in. I take that as a compliment. Ads are about to start. And I think we'll probably have to spend like another 20-ish minutes on it. So we'll run the ads now, then we'll come back and see how things are going. It's always nice to hear that. And it's nice to be a little bit of pep in the step. All right. Ads are running, we'll let them do their thing, and while they're running, let's go ahead and do some stretches, get some water, make sure, we do a little bit of things here and there aside from the usual. So, it's stretching time. Yeah, stretching, then water. It absolutely is. Your energy inspires us all. Power! Good. Alright, then, let's do some stretches. So let's start off by going a little bit to the left here, like so. And then let's go a little bit to the right here. Good. Then let's go a little bit to the back. Again, make sure nothing is broken. Very important. And then we'll go a little bit to the front here. And that is our back exercises. Let's go and do some necks. So back to our left here. And then we'll go ahead and do our right here. And then you can also go down. And then you can also go up as well. And another thing you can do is do turn. And you can hold it. Usually it's recommended to hold it for about a minute, but we don't have a minute. So I'm gonna hold it for like a few-ish seconds. And then we can go back here, and then we can go back here, and do the other side on our left. And then that's a little bit of stretching. I say, my favorite one has gotta be holding it here. That's pretty good. Holding it here for about a minute, and then holding it over here for about a minute. Those have to be my favorites. But that's stretching for back and neck. So let's get some water. We still have about 2-ish minutes left. I'm excited though. I fixed a bug without even realizing it was going to be the thing that was fixed. I definitely think the entity isn't going to be too difficult. The only issue is going to be its duplication code, but we can clean that up. We just need to make sure it's functional. Then it can be cleaned up. Right now, the entity doesn't have a state. However, technically speaking, can't it just always have a move state and never move from the move state? That could be a thing too. We can explore our options. Let me get some water. Okay, water has been acquired. And with all that said and done, we have a little bit left. So let's see. Once we finish with the ghost, we'll do a little bit more. I can show you while we're waiting. So once we figure out the ghost moving from place to place, so that's what they're doing right now in the cafe, moving from spot to spot, then we need to add a way for the ghost to follow the player around. That might be a little bit tricky. We've done it in the past before. It's just going to be re-implementing that code, and I get the glasses back. 10 minutes is up. Yay! Look at that. Glasses are back. Lovely. So once we finish that, then we move on to the other portion. And I can even show you a little bit while we're waiting, is that for our ghost, they have regular animations. So for example here, regular idle. And after we figure out them and everyone moving around, then we need to make them have a state for when they follow. So when they follow the player, they turn a little pink and they're very happy. And after that, we also need to add the banish animation to apply. So once they get banished, they kind of just fade into white and then they're done. That'll be the hope. Oh, you know what? Possibly, maybe what we can do is do, I was going to say Shift O, but I don't know if that's possible. Like grab it here and do that there. Let's see. I don't know if I have, hold on. I want to do eye drop. Oh, eye drop. Shift O like that. Don't do the bottom though. Maybe do the bottom. Like that possibly. And welcome back from the ad breaks. You've missed nothing but me brainstorming. I was curious to see if maybe we can add a layer around the ghost animation. Do it Shift O here, like that. And then do another Shift O like that there. So I know you want to release on Steam, but other platform plans. The thing is, this game is based around a typing game. So it'd be a little bit difficult to add typing versions. While we can do, plug in keyboards and things of that nature, I think if I were to do something like that, I would want to add, and I wish you a nice day, evening. Thank you, Mr. Dream Studio. I'm going to bed and need to rest a little bit. Of course, bye. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a good development. Thank you. And the same to you as well. What was the word? Yeah, thank you. And Yeah, you need a keyboard. Yeah. I would love to, at some point, add a update to the game where you could use the arrow keys instead for the colors and the words. I think that could work, but I want to make sure I focus specifically on the typing part of the game. So let's see here. The banish, does that add a cool animation? Kinda, sorta. I think it's a little bit neater than the other one, so you know, we'll keep it. I like it, we'll keep it, we'll keep that as there. All right, so back to what we were doing. Let's see here. We were looking at our path follower. Yes, identifier entity is not declared on the current scope. What say ye? Entity current global entity position. Yes, indeed. So our global position needs to equal, let's see, our target global position. Now, instead what has to happen here is, let's see. If you are within range, if the destination area is reached, go back to the starting point. So what we're going to do instead is just remove all of this, since we don't need it anymore. If you are within range, then we just teleport you. So we can set reach target to true. And actually, you don't even need reach target, truth be told. Just delete that. Don't even need it, I don't think. We'll make you go here, like that. Do that there, and then return. Like that there. Give it a go, give it a whirl, see how you feel. Now, why are you angry? What's this thing here? Unreachable code. Oh, right. There you go. Wait, no, hold on. If you, why are you unreachable? If X and Y within range, how's this unreachable? If you're a tab. Oh, hold on. Like that. There you go. Hold on. Oh, was it control tab? No, it's shift tab. Ah, there you are. Lovely. Okay, there you go. All right. I think that'll fix them. Let's see. Let's see if it'll work. We'll go to here, we'll go to here, we'll go to here, go to here, go to here, and see how well it fares. Oh, hold on. Wrong game mode. We need to go to the tutorial. All right. Spawn in that good old... Oh, hold on. This is the tutorial. Never mind. All right, customer. Hello. Go on to your seat. I will take your order. Oh, may I take your order? May I take your hat, sir? Let's see here. Take you and then open up, close. All right. Let's see if it comes back. And it does! Okay, I think we fixed him then. He's good to go. Look at him moving. Look at him schmoving. He does reset now. Good news. Lovely to hear. Lovely. And look, he teleports and right back. That is what we want. And then when we go to the area that he is targeting, we should just be able to disappear. Get deleted. Good. Okay, that fixes it. I thought it would, and I'm glad it did. Good then. We can say now for certain that the game, at least the entities, are functional where they were. And the ghost is now functional as it should be currently. What we'll do next time, if I don't finish it this week, is we will work on the ghost following. So right now, the ghost can move from spot to spot. So it'll move from this spot after a timer, this spot after a timer, this spot after a timer. In my game, the ghost will follow the player if they detect her. So it's an enemy spotted. If we click on here, you should be able to see they have vision. So in our game, if the player happens to enter this range, then the ghost will follow the player around until you leave that range. That'll be it. And the thing is, when something is in the range of the ghost, that is what this guy is. If a customer's in that purple circle, the customers get afraid, and that'll make their patience go faster. So you want to banish the ghost as fast as you can. So what we'll hopefully do, what I'll hopefully do is this week, I'll be able to make it so that the ghost will just follow the player if the player enters this area, and if the player leaves this area, then they'll go back to their wandering state. And that'll be also the animations we were looking at before, so that'll be these guys here. So that's what I'll be doing this week, and if I don't finish, then that's what we'll be doing next week. These animations here, we'll be adding them to the game, is the hope. So that's that there. Let's see, anything else needed to take to accord? I don't believe so. If I do happen to update the game, well, let's see. Once we add those things, we probably won't have the game updated still, so you know what? I think we're good. I think we're okay. Alrighty, with all that said, let me bring you into here. Let me bring you into our nope, that screen. That's one. Yep, that's the one I'm looking for. Wonderful. So if you're on Twitch, consider sticking around. I love rating people. It's always fun to see if we can find new people to rate too, whether it's old or whether it's new. But the idea is that we get to see more Godot game devs. So I'll see if I can find a Godot game dev to rate us. It's always super fun. If you're on YouTube, the YouTube side though, that'll be it from me. So I'm going to go to the end screen and end on YouTube, and then I'm going to come back on Twitch. So if you'd like to participate in the raid, consider sticking around and participate a little bit here and there. Thank you all for coming though. I hope you have a lovely week and a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, or good night. I hope to see you all soon, and thanks for chatting it up and, you know, just vibing for a little bit. Bye-bye.